Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CMSA Ruby Invitationals. This is our second week of our invitational series where we'll have our Ruby players take to the Rift and battle it out. My name is Blaine. I'll be one of your hosts and one of your casters for the evening. I won't be doing it alone, though. With me is
What's up, stream? I'm Poggle. This is my first time casting League of Legends. You probably know me from playing in CMSA for more years than I care to admit at this point, and currently for being in charge of the Topaz League, which you'll see me in the Invitational for next week, but I'll be playing instead of casting.
Yeah, he's going for a little bit more clout chasing this time, being on the
Yep,
broadcast squad this time. Wants some more FaceTime, you know how it is. Uh
exactly.
yeah, welcome to CMSA. For those that are unaware of who we are, CMSA is the Chicago Metropolitan Sports Association. We are the largest LGBTQ plus sports nonprofit in the Midwest, and since 2018, we now have esports. We have leagues for Fortnite, Overwatch, League of Legends, including an ARAM league. We also have Dead by Daylight, and we do some Dungeons and Dragonsing here and there also.
Yeah, I think that about covers it as far as I know. And if you're interested in joining us for League of Legends gameplay, but maybe not really wanting to commit to, full-length Summoner's Rift games every Tuesday night, definitely check out the ARAM League. And the ARAM League will be starting up a mini season pretty soon in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, before we get into our draft here, I want to have one last announcement before we announce our teams that'll be playing this evening. We're going to be starting a Peak League starting on Monday next week. What day is that, actually? The 20th. October 20th, we'll be starting a Peak League. Signups are still available, so if you want to go hike up a mountain with your best pals in the whole wide world, be sure to sign up for that. Uh, so now, Poggle, what do you
Blaine.
say we introduce our teams for this evening?
Sure, do you want to do the honors or shall I?
I've been talking a lot. I need a breather. How about you
Okay, all
bring
right.
us in?
All right, I got it. So, starting us off, I'm going to do it in order of which team is which side. So, on the blue side of the map for game one, you're going to see PP's Banditos with Nectar in the top lane, Koala jungling, Rook in the mid lane, Ginger Oxide bot lane, and PP Bandit support. And on the other side of the rift, you're going to see Zangy Zesties with Shangru in the top lane, Feoria in the jungle, Perfect Johnny mid lane, Emo Loser ADC, and Prescription support.
Yeah, both
Now,
those teams have been playing fantastic all season long. I can't wait to watch them play tonight.
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these matchups. I did have a chance before the Invitational to do some digging and look at some stats, and I think we have some really interesting stats on the head-to-head for a lot of these matchups, and I'm really excited to see how they pan out in the Invitational tonight.
Absolutely. What am I looking for?
It sounds like the teams are just about ready, and we'll be getting into draft soon. And you know what? I guess before we get to draft, I can talk a little bit about what I'm expecting to see, just based off of what these players have played during the regular season. Um, so to me, it seems like there's very much a difference of style that stems from the way these two top laners play. We have a very split push heavy style from Shangru and a very team fight, engage heavy um, style from the side of Nectar. So definitely looking to see how that manifests in the games tonight.
Yeah, Nectar does seem to have a bit of a wide net for a champion pool. I would say it's an Olympic size champion pool. A lot of
Yeah.
fun and like also relatively split pushy, thick as you may
Yep.
want to say.
All right, and it looks like we're heading into draft now. Let's see what picks and bans we get here. Um, Mel being a prio pick is not super surprising to me, and the Jarvan getting banned out is also not at all a surprise. I'm expecting we'll probably see, yeah, there's the Yorick ban, very much trying to target those split pushers. I'm expecting we're going to see a Nocturne ban, probably. It seems like Jarvan and Nocturne were sort of the favorites for Koala. And on the side of oh, okay, a Nunu ban. That's interesting. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they had done different scouting, like maybe they got to see the team's practice games. There's that Nocturne ban I was talking about. But actually, neither jungler played Nunu in the regular season. So I wonder if that's some older trauma than that even. And that's the Lilia pick coming out. I know that Koala does play Lilia, so. Oh, okay, interesting. I don't think that was this past season, unless it was week 1. And
Yeah, I'm getting word in my ear that Shangru has played a bit of Nunu top. So yeah, that could be where the trauma is coming from.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And the Kayn coming out makes a lot of sense. Feoria definitely plays a good bit of Kayn. Definitely their most played this season. And the Vel'Koz coming through for prescription, they are on
Oh,
full comfort this game.
That's a classic pick for
Yep.
prescription.
Yeah, definitely. The Ari pick, or the Ari ban, sorry, coming through makes a lot of sense, as does the Syndra ban. Now, something that I found interesting was that in the regular season, these two mid laners only had 2 overlapping champs, and they both did a lot of off-rolling in different roles. So Rook doubled up as an ADC a lot of the time, and there were a couple of games, or a couple of weeks rather, where Perfect Johnny played the jungle. But the only 2 champs that overlapped for these 2 mid laners were Aurora and Orianna. So I'm excited to see. There's the Aurora.
Right when you were talking about it.
All right, well, there we go.
Right on cue.
Pays off. Yone is an interesting one. Neither mid laner played Yone, and the Aatrox. There we go. I fully expect to see a Mundo in response, and that is what I'm hoping for. And the Cassante hover, and it looks like out of draft. I'm wondering if perhaps the 5th player on the side of Zangy Zesties didn't own the champion. Oh, okay. Sounds like it was a technical issue, not intentional or coming from any player in particular.
Yes.
We didn't see the top lane get locked in. They were hovering Cassante. But otherwise, full draft, yeah.
Well,
so
that means we got a little bit more time to kill while they do that again.
Yep. So yeah, we'll fill some time while they get into champ select for real this time. Now, the reason I was calling out the Mundo pick, it's one of 2 champions that are shared between the top laners, and while we wait for the spectator delay, once we actually get everyone situated in game, or loading into the game, we can pull up a graphic showing the difference in the champion pools for the top laners. But something that I found really interesting was they both top laners have played both Mundo and Alawi. Now the Alawi, both of them played very little of, um, and otherwise their champion pools didn't overlap at all. But the Mundo was definitely a huge prio pick that I thought we were going to see coming into this series. I was surprised to see the Cassante. I haven't seen any Cassante games in Sean history for this season. I only saw, aside from the two that are shared, I saw Yorick, Gragas, and Scion. So, very split push heavy champions.
Yeah, Mundo's typically a priority pick in Ruby
It's
across the board.
a demonized pick in Topaz, and everyone hates that champion. We do not mess with Dr. Mundo. Twitch chat's asking about Cheddar and Pepperjack. You will absolutely see them in my background as the night goes on. I continuously see Pepperjack going in and out of the kitchen, so there will definitely be plenty of cameos from them. They're as excited as I am to see these games.
Yeah, with these picks that are coming in, which side do you like for draft wise better between these two?
So it's really going to depend on who can get an early lead, I think. With the Twitch, you're really hoping to get the advantage over the Jinx. Otherwise, for the side of PP's Banditos, I feel like you're very much sort of on the back foot approaching these fights just because of the range that is present on the side of Zhengyi Zesties. You've got the Vel'Koz for the poke, you've got Jinx for a lot of poke. Aurora, I mean, this is kind of like an Aurora's dream game, right? Where you have essentially 5 sort of squishy champions on the enemy team,
And yeah, that's a lot of melee.
Yeah, it's a ton of melee. The only real ranged threat being the Twitch. I think that PP's Banditos are going to have to look for some creative angles to get in. Yeah, so we're going to get some top lane stats here, and it's going to be enlightening as to what we were saying in the draft. And the reason that I really wanted to see the Aatrox Mundo matchup is because Sean and Nectar only played against each other twice this season. And both games that they played against each other were Aatrox Mundo matchups, where Nectar was on the Aatrox, Sean was on the Mundo, and they are 1-1 in that head-to-head matchup.
And so that means all of their one loss is from each other on those picks too.
Yes, exactly. They handed each other their only respective losses on those champions. Sorry,
Now we're not going to be able to see that matchup.
Yeah, we won't be able to see that because this is Fearless. For people who don't know, our invitationals are done with Fearless drafting, which means that if a champion is picked, they cannot be picked in subsequent games. So going into game 2, we won't see Aatrox, Milio, Yone, Twitch, Lilia, Aurora, Kayn, Jinx, Vel'Koz, or Cassante. The teams will have to pick 10 completely new champions. So we'll have plenty to talk about with that, and Fearless Draft is making things spicy for sure.
I also want to mention here, the Milio pick on the side of who is who? PP's Banditos, excuse me. Milio is definitely a takeaway pick from Prescription as well. That is in their included champion pools.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to, they're going to really enjoy the benefits that gives them later on, because PP Bandit being able to secure that pick is huge for them. If we show the support matchup slide later, we'll be able to see that. But effectively, the champion pool difference looks pretty large, but Prescription loves this Vel'Koz. It is by far his most played champion.
That's not Vel'Koz. Look at him.
You're right. You got me there. And yeah, on the side of the PP's Banditos, if you look at the stat line for Nectar, you'll very much see what I was talking about, where, you know, the KDA is there, the CS per minute not quite as much, and that's really just indicative that Nectar plays these heavy engage and team fight oriented champions, whereas if you look at Shangru's pool, he plays the more split pushy champions. He's got actually he had the highest CS per minute stat line across the entire league, which for a top laner is crazy. And he beat out Ginger Oxide, which was also crazy because when they were in Topaz last season, they were crazy with the minion kills. I remember that being something that really set them apart from the other ADCs in the league. They were miles ahead of the person in second, who I believe was probably Boomer DeWalrus. Yeah, it is funny that they beat them out on that stat when Ginger Oxide did overall have more minions killed, but the CS per minute average, because Shangru played less games than Ginger Oxide, goes to Shangru. And it sounds like we're in game and getting ready to show that. And I am excited to see how these teams execute on these comps. Like I was saying, I think that for the side of PP's Banditos, they're really going to be at a ranged disadvantage. They're at a ranged deficit when they're having to play into champs like Aurora, Jinx, Vel'Koz, and that's with a Cassante frontlining for them.
That Milio is definitely going to help a little bit. I don't know if it'll do enough to get that range to where it should be. And a little bit of poke coming out.
Yeah, we're
Ginger
seeing a little bit
poking
of
their nose out into the river.
A little bit of level 1 shenanigans.
Otherwise, it pretty regular 5-point.
Yep.
From both sides here.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see how far out Prescription was. I feel like, you know, if PP's Banditos were sort of aware of Prescription playing like that, and we see this mid lane matchup is brutal early on for the Yone. But yeah, if PP's Banditos had knowledge that Vel'Koz would push up so far, which is pretty unusual for a level 1 5-point, they probably could have capitalized off of it and gotten a kill. I'm sure that was probably what Ginger Oxide was calling for, but unfortunately they noticed it a little bit too late, as these Vel'Koz Qs are landing.
Yeah, this is going to be all game with this.
Oh, hate to see it. And Cassante his
Some
level
good trading top side.
Good dodge by Nectar, and he gets the minion with that Q that he used to poke Cassante. Now, something that's interesting about top lane is that, you know, from my experience, it doesn't matter. But also, it's a very trade-heavy role. In a lot of cases, the better play is actually to drop the CS in order to poke your opponent early on. So, while there isn't really much of a CS difference up here in the top lane yet, you know, missing a couple CS to get an HP advantage is definitely a play that you can make. And I find that really interesting. We are seeing a bit of a CS deficit already in the mid lane, and I mean, that's to be expected playing.
Yeah,
that sucks. I'm sure that
just oppressive.
Like, yeah, I'm sure that Rook is really feeling that too. Yeah, having to use the E forward to get the kill on the cannon minion, definitely something that you feel when that happens, you know.
Some
and
good sidestepping by Ginger there to avoid most of that damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it was a really good attempt from the side of Zangi Zesties. Unfortunately, because Ginger had to sidestep the damage, they missed the cannon.
-1.
Yeah, -1. But you know, it's absolutely a strategy to go for all that poke damage when your enemy laner goes for a cannon minion, because they have to make that decision. Well,
but you see what happens when you use those Qs so often.
Yep. And we're looking at
you're out of mana.
Blood here. There's no
Ginger
chance.
going in and gets the first blood down onto Emo Loser.
Yeah, and I don't know if we actually saw. It looks like Jinx's barrier was used earlier. I don't know if we got to see that. It must have been a pretty quick trade.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting a kill to go over there.
Yeah, I mean, it was really smart from Emo Loser to save their flash. You know, at that point, there's really no getting out there. You just tell your support, don't use the heal. I'm not going to flash. Just accept this kill, you know. Because otherwise, you know, like, you can trade sums, but ultimately, if you are the Jinx Vel'Koz lane, if you retain your summoner spells, you keep the advantage there. And to your point earlier, the Milio is definitely going to make it harder for this lane to get an edge, just because, you know, they have so much more sustain over the opponent with that Vel'Koz support pick. So we see some heavy trading in the mid lane, but Aurora's completely out of mana, and here comes Lilia. Oh, flashes straight into the Lilia. You hate to see that.
Oh,
that's Lily.
That's kill
Aurora
take.
going
Over
down.
to the Yone on the Aurora too. That's gonna be
Flash
really
out for
good. This is gonna be really good for Rook to stay healthy and like keep up on gold with all that. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say that CS that's dropping, but they're even.
Yeah, and you know the top lane. We haven't gotten. It's been very quiet up there. We haven't really taken too much of a look at what's going on up there, but it's exactly as I was saying before, where Aatrox looks like he's, you know, Nectar's dropped a couple of minions in order to poke out the Cassante, and it has done wonders for him. Forcing Cassante to recall, he gets to neutralize the wave here, and they get to back on even terms, which, considering how that lane started, is a huge win for Aatrox.
Yeah, returning back to the lane with a BF sword. Not only for Rook, but also for Ginger Oxide.
Yep.
So yeah, they're gonna be pretty tough.
Yep, that is going to be really rough for, I mean, both mid and bot. Now, we'll see, because I still favor the comp of
Oh, that's gonna be some damage.
That's the forced flash out from Twitch.
Yep.
And we
Johnny
have
coming in
just
a little bit too late. Otherwise, that definitely would have landed a kill.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with the Twitch having no flash now. I wonder if Cassante knows that this is a gank. I mean, we see the counter gank coming out from the Kayn. It looks like overall it's a dead play, and we see Aurora getting
Johnny taken low.
Yeah, definitely feeling the effects of being able to purchase that BF sword, winning these trades now.
I've been keeping an eye on Fioria and Koala, because both of these junglers play with such confidence. They just lived in my team's jungle.
Yeah, it looks like, at least for now, they are respecting that the other plays that way and not going for any crazy invades. But we see Lilia making a repeat gank in the top lane, and that's Cassante's flash. Oh, they might be able to go for more.
Unstoppable. Oh. Are they going to go for it? No, they don't have a minion wave. They can't do it.
Yeah, they
World Ender gets popped.
There. Really nice sidestep from Ginger. They are making this Vel'Koz.
Oh, Ghost gets popped. Ginger's coming in. Oh.
If Twitch had the flash there, that would have been the kill, but because they don't,
Both get away.
they both get away with just a sliver of health each.
Prescription played that really well to get the...
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I knew ability names better. I should know.
Yeah, and honestly, Nerves of Steel from Prescription not using the heal there,
Yeah.
there was absolutely a chance. I feel like one more auto attack and Jinx would have died. I think Emo Loser knew that too, and that's why they did use the flash.
This is a real back and forth slugfest between these two top laners.
Yeah, but it has created quite a big difference in CS at this point, where because Aatrox is dropping so much CS to poke out Cassante, there is a gold difference in the top lane of about 300, 400. That's about equivalent to a kill. But, you know, the other side of it is that if Nectar can make Cassante take enough of these recalls, now that Cassante has TP back, if he can get him to have to recall again, that we could be looking at plates. And we see them going in on each other.
This is a full engage.
We see the all
Going
out.
unstoppable.
This is looking bad for Nectar, who does have
Flash
the
out.
back. But ultimately, he'll be fine, and he still has the teleport, so...
Oh, Prescription landed that knockup onto Vel'Koz.
Oh my gosh, they're just fighting all over the map right now as the Aurora ult comes out mid, and they are trading, I mean, slivers of health for so many players right now. And worth noting, this is twice now that Aatrox has canceled his recall because of pressure from Cassante. He's
Oh,
going...
the World Ender gets popped. Here comes Koala.
Yeah, and there's no all out, and that is feat of warfare for the side of PP's Banditos. This early game really paying off for them, which is exactly what you'd want to see given the difference in what these team comps want to do. With Twitch having a lead, Yone having a lead, Aatrox going neutral in this lane, which is, you know, about to be expected, and...
Good dodge by Ginger Oxide.
Oh, we heard the Vel'Koz ult get interrupted almost immediately.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I heard it and I was like, I heard a Vel'Koz ult, but I'm not seeing it. It was like frame perfect. Ginger Oxide is getting taken out by Kayn here. Oh no.
That was a good response by Kayn.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to force PP Bandit's flash. Yeah. And that is a really good answer from the side of Zengi Zesties to get something back on the map right now. You know, the early game is definitely slipping away from them, and just because they have, I think, the easier comp to execute doesn't necessarily mean that they just win the games. They're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to fight for it.
This is a good trade by Nectar up in the top
Yeah.
side. But it's getting evened out slowly.
Yeah, it sure is. I would be interested to see, because Cassante is absolutely going to have to pick up.
We just
at
saw,
least
is
the
that
Bramble Vest.
Fioria behind?
Dive. We might be looking at a top lane dive, but right now we're looking at a trade in the mid lane. Alright, I'm wondering if the dive either got called off.
Oh,
it looks
yeah,
like
they
called the dive
recalled.
off. But what I was saying was I would be very surprised if we don't see Cassante Shangru picking up a Bramble Vest this game. There is a lot of healing on the side
Auto
of
attackers, yeah.
PP's Banditos, yeah. You've got, you know, Twitch is inevitably going to build lifesteal. Yone is going to have lifesteal. Lilia will probably get a Riftmaker and have the Omni Vamp. Aatrox has so much healing in his kit, and on top of all of that, they have a Milio. So there will definitely be anti-heal coming out somewhere, surely, if they want to be able to fight these. And we see Aurora coming in from the mid lane for a gank on bot. Doesn't quite get the...
Oh, we get a teleport in from Yone coming in. Ults in.
Ults in, and we get Prescription escaping with a
Script
split
lives.
health again.
That heal, keeping that heal,
Yeah.
definitely was the difference maker.
Yeah, if he had used that heal earlier on the Jinx when he, you know, apparently didn't need to, because could have looked quite different, although I think Heal might have been back up by now. I think they'd be cutting it close, though. Shangru
Well, it was just up in the top side.
smelling something here. Oh, walks right into the...
Oh, that's
not
under
a
tower.
good place for Lilia to be, but she flashes out, and does she die?
Oh.
Yep.
That was
Gets the kill with the damage
almost
over time.
just such a good response.
Yeah, it was
from
so
Sean.
close from Shangru. He did play that very well to almost get the trade kill. Unfortunately, it just barely wasn't there. Ginger Oxide gonna have to recall here with no mana, and the Jinx Rocket. Oh!
Oh!
That was scary. If I'm Rook, I am panicked a little bit off of, getting damaged right as I get into base.
That was so well timed too. I could never time that so well.
Yeah, I don't know if the intention was to hit Rook as he was getting back to base, but if it was, then good on Emo Loser, because that was so well timed from them. I think more likely it was probably meant to hit PP Bandit or Ginger Oxide while they were playing around in the river, trying to de-ward. And yeah, we see what I was talking about earlier with the turret damage from the Aatrox making Cassante back so much that, dropping CS is fine if you're getting so much tower damage in response.
Yeah, and the second Drake has also went down for the side of Zengi Zesties.
Yeah, so that's just one more thing that this comp has going for them. They have so much objective control with all of this range that if they are there first, the objective is probably just theirs. So for the side of TP's Banditos, what you really want to see is proactive objective setup. And right now we do see Koala going for this Rift Herald, but it's looking like Zengi Zesties is responding. You see the
That's
triple
the spray and pray out by Ginger Oxide. Nectar is behind,
Oh,
coming in, gets
wow.
the kill. That's a really good flank by them.
That's a very...
Engage on a Fioria. The Yone ult misses. I don't know what it's called.
That was such a patient flank.
Koala's still behind too, on top of the strip.
Wow, this Lilia is so deep right now, but making it work.
Fear the deer.
Oh, Fioria now getting engaged on by Rook, but it looks like...
Oh, that's first turret down
That is
from
first
Emo
turret.
Loser.
Yeah. While all of that's going on, Jinx is split pushing, and it works out to Zengi Zestie's favor as they are able to claim first turret. And
So we're tied for objectives. We have kills on one side, tower on another.
Yeah.
So
the
next
feat of
objective is
strength-
gonna land
Yeah.
those feet.
Yep, feats of strength decided entirely by this next objective. That's going to be crazy.
Is that dragon in 2 minutes and 40 seconds?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be the dragon fight. Yeah, because we're not going to see any other objective spawn until Otacon at I believe 20 minutes, and then Baron at 25.
I feel like both teams are absolutely going to be prepping up for this to get these objectives down.
I also
these
want to
beat.
point out what soul it is, because I believe it's Infernal Soul. And you really, if your PP's Banditos, do not want these poke-heavy champs getting that Infernal Drake. And it looks like
Oh, Ginger!
engaged on by Ginger Oxide. Do they get the kill with the Contaminate? Ooh, the
Hit him
bowling
with
ball.
the bowling ball.
Bowling ball hits Vel'Koz right in that center eye. And down
That's
goes
the weak point.
yeah, that's also like kind of the only point. And yeah, down goes the big void eyeball. Now, here
Now,
in
we
the
do have a
top-
lot of shutdown gold available. So if they can get a good engage with that Aurora, with Kayn, and a nice Jinx ult on top of it, they can absolutely come back. Like, that gold lead is not as much as you would think for 7-1.
Oh, we're gonna see Cassante go down here.
Shungr is so tanky though.
Cooldown. Oh no! Wow, so much invested there for the side of PP's Banditos, and by so much I mean just Aatrox ult, so not actually that much. But you know, Shangru not even breaking a sweat, doesn't need to ult, doesn't have the flash. Probably might have used it if he did have the flash up, but you know, overall that kind of hurts if you're PP's Banditos. Getting that kill would be so huge for them. I mean, they ultimately get the turret anyway. There's no response from the side of Zangy Zesties, but yeah, we're looking at this point like a 4K gold lead for the side of PP's Banditos, despite the stacking dragons. So while Zangy Zesties have been stacking these dragons, the other objectives, the Void Grubs and the Rift Herald, have gone. Oh, and there's some crazy poke coming out from the Aurora. I think, you know, give Aurora two more items. When Aurora's on third item, I think that 100% just kills both Milio and Twitch.
They set up a really good play. PP's Banditos. Setting. Oh, that was so fast.
There was the Milio, and Yone is going to drop
Yone coming in. It's not going to be enough. There's too many there. Huge life form disintegration rate. Ginger Oxide goes down too.
Dude, triple kill for the Aurora. Nectar's trying his best. The shutdown for Aatrox ends up going over to Cassante. Not necessarily where you want that to go, but yeah, Fioria.
Before that fight started, I was gonna say, Koala put down the Rift Herald and marched down that mid lane while that fight was taking place. So they lost the objective. They got a little bit wiped, but they did get a turret and a half down.
Yeah, and you know, kind of just feels like it might have been a little bit of an overzealous play for the members of PP's Banditos, who I would say engaged that fight, walking towards sort of unwarded brush near an objective like they might be doing right here. They're checking it with the Lilia E. They end up missing the champs that are so they don't know until the poke starts coming back at them, and this is just going to be Otacon. And yeah, that is Feats of Warfare over for the side of... Or sorry, Feats of Strength over for the side of Zangy Zesties. Yeah, they got it with the Drake, but it feels like it all goes back to summoning that Rift Herald. I feel like that's the sort of play where you just put the Rift Herald down and look for the fight as the...
Ginger Oxide just outran.
The Life Form Disintegration Ring not hitting, although Kayn just got brought straight into the entire team, and now he's sleeping on the job, but that's huge burst damage.
Crazy.
Huge burst damage to shut down the Lilia, and it goes to Fioria, who, yeah, with that Voltaic Cyclo Sword is just putting out so much damage. I thought for sure that was just a pick and then done.
Yeah, getting Fioria in the river with everyone else from PP's Banditos right there, I thought that was going to be a kill. It was, but not for who I was expecting it
to be. Yeah, absolutely. I did not expect... I mean, clearly, Koala didn't expect either. The damage coming out from Fioria there on that Kayn with the Voltaic Cyclo Sword, and now we see the completed Spear of Shojin. So this Kayn is about to be doing a lot of damage and doing it consistently. That Spear of Shojin gives so much ability haste to your basic abilities.
Also, that's Red Kayn too, so the regen and like healing from damaging everyone is going to be pretty good too. They're going to have some survivability.
Yeah, now we are now in a weird position where next dragon, like, we're on soul point already. That's a very early soul point. And PP's Banditos are going to have to fight over this next dragon, or they're just giving an Infernal Soul to a poke comp, which is definitely not what you want to do, as they shove the Vel'Koz into Ginger Oxide's Venomous Cask, or whatever Twitch's W is called. I think that's it, but that was just a funny little
jar of sewage.
Yes. Unspecified sludge.
Ooh, the Johnny with a huge chunk onto Rook.
Yeah, but critically, the Aurora ult doesn't hit. I think that Rook is going to look to turn this here. Knows that he can't. Oh, Perfect Johnny has the read, and on the other
Chandra
side,
gets taken down on the top side. So at least a trade.
Yeah, we see trading across the map, but it looks like for the side of Zangy Zesties, they're going to be getting damage onto this tier 2 turret. And PP's Banditos did not commit to everyone pushing one lane. So now we see a mismatch where Aatrox is just now getting to the turret. PP Bandit is engaged on. Ginger Oxide taking a ton of damage from the Jinx Rocket and Vel'Koz ult. And that almost feels like they caught a spray there.
Are we gonna see a kill? Yeah.
Yeah, Lilia's going
with
down
Kayn
here.
going in.
Yep, and there's that Kayn again. And, you know, from the side of Zangy's Zesties, what I was hoping to see was some anti-heal coming out, but, I mean, if they're just bursting their opponents down before they have a chance to heal, it might not be all that necessary.
Thank you, Blaine, for the fart. You're welcome.
Wow, that's crazy.
Alright, yeah. Next objective is going to be Drake in 15 seconds. We have Baron coming up in 20. I don't know if both of these teams want to fight right now.
Yeah, this is sole point. It's so hard for PP's Banditos to find an angle. They're approaching this so late. I think that the Dragon's probably just gone. There's that chunk.
Rook is behind. Rook is behind.
Rook gets two with the ultimate.
Off. Emo Loser gets taken to half. Bowling Ball hits Perfect Johnny. Ginger Oxide behind.
That's a shutdown.
And gets taken right
both
down.
Both ADCs are out of the fight. That's a big deal for...
This is such an even fight so far.
This fight is...
PP Bandit still able to heal and shield Nectar. Rook going in, gets a huge knockup.
Oh, this is where anti-heal would have been big.
Chandra went all out.
Oh,
Perfect Johnny takes down Nectar.
And this is, yeah,
this fight is still going.
This fight is so long, and we just keep seeing the same thing
so
over and
even
over.
Too.
It's the Aurora outranging her opponents and chunking
Wall is
them.
just going to keep running around.
Yeah, there's no jungler for the side of Zangy Zesties. Fioria's dead. If Lilia and Milio can get this low enough,
Johnny,
it's absolutely a dragon secure for them, and it is.
I think
Lilia with the movement speed from
Wall is going to clean up the rest of this, I think.
Yeah.
But this is really smart.
Oh,
just going different ways, so only one of you goes down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That was a crazy fight from start to finish. Yeah, the Riftmaker, insane, and you know this is where that anti-heal would have come in really nicely for the side of Zangy Zesties. That Aatrox healing was huge, especially with the Sundered Sky coming out. The Riftmaker healing on the Lilia was also massive. And, you know, so far nobody has anti-heal on the side of Zangy Zesties to deal with 5 healing threats.
That fight lasted 45 seconds.
That fight was...
At least.
It was just both sides throwing punch after
haymakers at each other.
Yeah.
When Set isn't even in the game.
I gotta say... Perfect Johnny doing so much on this Aurora. I mean, the number of kills that he's been able to secure in these fights have just been absolutely crucial for his team. Seeing that, you know, range disadvantage coming out again for the side of PP's Banditos, even though ultimately they walk away favored from that. It was a 4 for 3 and they got the dragon. But I mean, it's exactly plays like that where you see the Yone flanking, you see the Twitch flanking, those creative angles that this team has to look for to be able to get to these objectives. I was concerned going into it, we see a little bit of trading in the bot, I was concerned going into it that we were going to just see them get poked out before they get to the objective again. But actually the Yone flank and the Twitch flank made it such a good fight. It created so much chaos.
Yeah, it caused the perfect amount of chaos to really just make that fight uncertain. Honestly, for everybody.
Yep, 100%. This team does thrive in chaos, especially if you know Nectar.
I think this is going to be, perfectly timed.
Really good Zonias. Perfect Johnny not able to get out. The kill and the shutdown do go over to Ginger Oxide, who is still firing. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anything else, but they are going to threaten this mid turret here. And I almost wonder if they don't go and threaten Baron instead. They have the teleport up on Rook. I mean, they're not in a rush to do it.
Yeah, that range advantage is going to keep them away from that turret.
Yeah, they don't have a wave, and...
While it gets zapped, though?
Yeah, and they do get the turret in the bot lane, which... You know, if you're PP's Banditos, you want to see plays exactly like this over and over, where they just find critical picks prior to any fight that might be about to break out. I mean, right now, both teams are going to be looking at this Baron. It's the only objective on the map for another minute 40. And so it's the only thing to play for at the moment, other than standing gold from the turrets. But the only turrets left to take are tier 2 turrets. They are really risky to go for. I don't think anyone in the game right now is at a clear advantage over their lane opponent to the point where they can split push with impunity. So,
PP's Banditos has good vision down around the Baron, so even getting in there to clear that is difficult for Zangy Zesties.
Yeah,
because you just don't know who could be lurking right there.
Especially with the Twitch and stealth, and this Twitch does so much damage. Now, something to definitely keep an eye on
gets hit.
Is Emo Loser did pick up anti-heal. They now have that Executioner's Calling, and that's exactly what their team needs for these fights. As we see bot laners,
a big engage from both of these top laners, and a fight in the mid lane at the same time. Ginger Oxide flashes forward. Here comes Perfect Johnny.
We've got TPs going to bot. This is
Ginger stays alive.
This is a crazy cross-map play. Because Feoria took so much damage, they can't threaten the Baron off of the Yone TPing bot, and so they just get to kill Cassante for free.
That's just going to be a dragon taken down, because that's coming up in 15 again.
Yep, and, you know, we're starting to see...
Are we going to get a trade, though? Are we going to get a Drake for Baron?
They could go
They're going to have vision of it.
TP when he's up. We see
Yone
crazy ult, and that's just Emo Loser.
Taken down Emo Loser.
Oh, Alice is his champion riot.
Here comes the squad running up to that Baron.
Yeah, now we see the entire team of Banditos running up to Baron off of that ADC pick, which was crucial. They don't have an ADC going into this fight. If these Banditos just start up the Baron, which they are, there's not going to be too much of a response. I mean, Vel'Koz is just now leaving base. They have no wards to place on this. They don't have hope for the pit. You see the Aurora.
Here comes Johnny coming in and just taking down half HPs, if not full ones.
Yeah, and we see PP Bandit die immediately to the Aurora poke, and that's exactly what I was talking about. If you don't have vision of this Aurora, one QE and then recall of the Q, and you're dead to electrocute if you are one of these squishier targets.
Everyone's dead to everything in 2 hits.
Yeah, this is a game of burst. It is all about who can burst who first. If the side of PP's Banditos can survive the initial upfront range disadvantage that they're at and find their way into a fight, I do think that they come out ahead. Especially with all of the healing and shielding that they have, Milio picking up the redemption. It's going to be really tough to kill anyone if you aren't able to do it with the upfront burst.
Remember when Riot buffed everyone's like HP and armor and like nerfed everyone's damage to make it not League of One-Shots?
I remember when they thought they did that. But
yeah, this Gold League too has been going up and down and all around this entire game.
Yeah, and I mean, we see, as far as levels go, everyone's starting, the solo laners and junglers are starting to hit 17, 18, and then classically for the supports we see level 13. Which, if you're the support, that makes sense. That's exactly where you want to be. Unfortunately, it sucks because if you're playing a champ like Milio into a champ like Aurora, if you are on her screen, you're dead. And we see Feoria coming in here looking for something, fishing for something, anything.
Ginger Oxide going invisible, though.
Yep. Stealth on Twitch. Sorry, camouflage.
Is that what it is? I don't know anymore. There's like 5 different go invisible names.
Yep. Oh, we see the Yone ult coming out and getting...
Feoria gets caught.
Hitting Feoria, and Feoria dies in his ultimate. And all of a sudden, this map state looks so different and so dire for the side of Zhengyi Zesties.
How would you come back from that, from this, if you're going to be in there? What do you think they have to do?
I feel like how they keep dying is they are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. I think they got a little cocky with their lead and stopped playing the range advantage that they had. They need to be buying control wards for this Twitch, who has shown that they will just run around them and flank them, which, maybe not a move you're expecting from the ADC, but it worked.
Yeah, Ginger Oxide has been using their ghost play pretty liberally.
Yep.
Twitch right there, but Johnny's right here to not get a return kill. I kind of expected them to just get taken down.
Yeah, I expected Ginger Oxide to go 1-for-1 there, but it looked like Perfect Johnny, didn't have vision of anyone else on the side of Banditos, probably not expecting that the enemy ADC would be doing something like that solo. Surely there's help somewhere. And yeah, we see that there's not a lot of vision control on the side of Zhengyi Zesties, in the sense that they don't know where Twitch is in these fights until Twitch is popped on top of them.
I saw the vision.
Yep. And it's always those Yone ults where it's like, you see the vision, but unfortunately it's a little too forced, and we see Koala taken very low, and ultimately the really crazy OP Scuttle Crab does go to the side of Zhengyi Zesties, which we have Koala healing up off of the jungle.
Yeah, Koala has all of these bot side camps up to heal back.
Yeah.
So this fight is either gonna still happen, or
we see
we get a teleport back immediately from Shangru.
Yeah, we see Shangru channeling the teleport. Not a lot, but the side of PP's Banditos are now on the wrong side of the pit. They've given up control over the river, and now
they have Ginger going for a flank behind everyone.
Thank goodness, we're about to see another crazy Twitch flank. And they have no idea. This is what I'm talking about. They don't have any control wards to illuminate their backline. Emo Loser's going to go down here to the Twitch, and Ginger Oxide
Feoria's going to get inside of Ginger Oxide and make it out alive. Shangru going 1v3, flashes back over the wall to get away. Perfect Johnny's going to keep everyone back, but this is going to be Shangru going down now.
Yeah. Shangru's sacrificing himself so that his team can try to get out, but they don't want out. They want to keep going, and I think that's probably not...
Feoria gets taken down, and Perfect Johnny gets sleepy.
Again with the Zhengyi on the Lilia ult, though. Goes golden to avoid the bonus damage coming out from popping the ult, but doesn't dodge the Q with the flash.
That deer is so fast.
That Lilia
I think this might be game here.
Probably game.
Yeah, they're gonna tank tower.
Yeah,
they got minions.
They'll just end up tanking the turret here. It looks like the Nexus turrets will go down. Nectar's doing a crazy good job of
staying alive in that fountain. Oh,
this is getting dangerous for the side of... Yeah, no, it's just over. It's just over. And that is game one going over to the side of PP's Banditos after what was a pretty rough start into 3 quick kills and a lot of trading back and forth.
Yeah, that was a really good back and forth game. A bunch of kills on both sides. Everyone is just fighting all the time.
Yep, you love to see it. I hope we get 2 more games that look almost just like that.
I'm
That was
predicting we will.
Oh yeah, I mean, knowing these teams, I'm sure we will.
All right, do you want to bring one of these players in for a little interview?
Yeah, definitely, but I guess the question is who? Which
I'm gonna say I want to hear from Rook in that Yone.
you want to hear from Rook? I think the Yone was pretty pivotal. I also wouldn't mind hearing from Ginger Oxide about those crazy Twitch
Oh,
flights.
yeah, that's a good one too.
Um,
Production, what do you think?
yeah, let's leave it up to production. Your options are Rook or Ginger Oxide to be interviewed. We had the Yone with the ults, and we had the Twitch with the crazy flanks. Which one did you say?
Oh, I'm just gonna grab one.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Oh,
pull
that's who I
Ginger
was
Oxide.
grabbing. Perfect.
All right.
Ginger Oxide, welcome to the stream. Are you okay with getting a quick little interview?
Yes, sir. Howdy.
Howdy.
Perfect. Welcome
Great
in.
game. Great game. That was so much fun to watch. First question. The hell is wrong with you?
If you see an opportunity to go into their backline, you just take it.
Well,
Yeah.
that was going to be my question was, did the ranged deficit for your team sort of lead to you making those creative plays, or was it just kind of something you were going to do anyway? But I think that kind of answers it.
Yeah, like subconsciously, I was like, okay, so actively, I knew that the Vel'Koz was giving us a lot of issues in our head-to-head fight, so somebody had to play flank, and it was either Yone or me. And I just decided to do it for a couple of those dragon plays. It ended up working out really well because I am able to get onto the Jinx, blow her up, keep her away, or like get Aurora to use all of her summoners trying to kill me, but everybody else can get in there. So
Yeah, both of you had incredible flanks throughout the game. Mostly, it always happened around Dragon Pit too, like dragon
yeah,
around the dragon. So
they
yeah,
really wanted Soul.
yeah, y'all definitely had a good battle for those dragons.
Yeah, was that a conversation that you had as a team where you acknowledged that you were playing against a team that has a lot more poke than you, and they're on Soul Point for Infernal Soul? Was that like a consideration that came up in comms?
Yeah, we were definitely discussing that because there was that one dragon fight that we just got completely obliterated. And instantly is the knowing that the range advantage was on their side and knowing we had really good flank opportunities was our main focus after that dragon fight where Vel'Koz just shut us down completely.
Yeah, absolutely. It did feel like for a while it felt like if your team were the ones who had to walk to the objective while the enemy was on it, that it was just kind of a guaranteed loss because of that range deficit. But your team definitely made it work with really creative flanks from yourself and Rook on the Yone.
As well as Lilia just scaling into late game and being a menace. Make sure to invade that champion, please. I hate that champ.
Yep.
All right,
Definitely.
we'll let you get back to your team. Buggle, did you have any last parting words?
Yeah, give us 2 more just like that.
Oh, slobber knockers? Hell yeah, will do.
Yeah,
We were loving the back-to-back fighting. And that 45-second long dragon fight was so fun.
Ruby's pretty good now. I'm loving it.
I'm sure it wasn't as fun in the moment.
What do you mean? I'm loving tonight.
I would be so
That's the attitude.
stressed.
That's the most fun League of Legends right there.
If I were the jungler, I'd be stressed.
All right, Ginger Oxide, thank you so much. Best of luck in the remaining games. I'm gonna send you back.
Take it easy.
All right.
Yep,
After a fun game like that, how can we even top it, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think we're going to see some of these other prio picks coming out now. So for the top lane, we still have that Mundo threat. That's still there. We could still see that horrendous, terrible,
I know that's gonna just
abominable champion. But I mean, also in their champion pool, still we have plenty of room to work with. Plenty of split pushers remain for Shangru. Plenty of engaged tanks remain for Nectar. I think where it's going to start to get really interesting is these pinched jungle pools. So we can pull it up. We can pull it up when we get to the spectator delay, waiting room. But the jungler champion pools are really interesting. We could just do it now. That's totally fine while we wait for the teams to be ready to draft. The jungle champion pools are really something else. We have absolutely no overlap at all. These two junglers did not play the same champion at all a single time all season long. And I will say, the head-to-head was in favor of Koala 4-1. After that game, it's now, I guess, 5-1. But I mean, both junglers played exceptionally. I think we saw a lot of really crazy stuff from Feoria on that Kayn, and it, makes me wonder if, with that Kayn out of the picture, what kind of crazy creative things might we see on a more traditional engaged champ like the Zac or the Amumu, if that is the direction that they choose to go in.
The Zac is definitely one of their main picks. It usually gets banned. I was the victim in a Udyr game.
Oh,
and it's just impossible. Because Feoria is so good with Udyr. Like, he just knows exactly what ability to do just to let you not touch him or get him.
Yeah, 100%. Zac is just one of those champs that it feels like we have, way too much in this kit. Like, it's doing too much damage, it's getting too much health back, it has too much health to begin with. And just one of those champs that, when you lock that champion in, you are really, impacting the way that these fights are going to go. You could say that for any champ, but if you were to lock in, a Morgana, I'm not anticipating crazy Morgana highlight reels the same way I'd expect to see, Zac Eing in and then Wing and then stomping on his blobs and getting 5,000 health back.
I'm going to beg to differ on that. I also played against Feoria's Morgana, and it sucks to play against.
Hey, I am so down to be proven wrong. I'm so down to see a really hype Morgana play. I just, there are certain champs that I get hype for, and there are other champs that I don't. But another interesting thing about the Morgana pick is that it is a flex pick for that team. It's a flex pick for the side of Zengi Zesties, because Prescription has also played it this season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I think that there's still a lot of really interesting options left for both junglers. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this draft is going to go, especially with that Aurora, which was one of the most contested champs coming into the draft last game, just based on how much both mid laners played it. And honestly, Rook showing us why. That champ looked really oppressive.
Really well done.
So I have a question for you, Blaine. Do you think we're going to see an AD mid or an AP mid coming out from Perfect Johnny?
I'm kind of gonna base it up of their past champions, and I'm gonna say that's going to be an AP champion.
Yeah, probably, but I gave a certain champ on the mid lane slide an orange square, meaning that that would be a
I
very
noticed
spicy pick
that.
if they played that again, and that is the Jace. They had a Jace mid game in the regular season that looked absolutely diabolical.
A menace on the rift.
Yep,
A
absolutely.
menace in Arcane, a menace on the rift.
Yep, and I will say, Perfect Johnny did manage to get games on both of the boyfriends from Arcane, Victor and Jace. So shout out to that. Shout out to him for that.
I'm really wanting to see a Rook Azir game.
That would be cool. I love seeing Azir get played.
I love watching Rook's Azir.
Yeah, for sure.
They're so good on the roams. Like, I'll be fighting top lane, not expecting anything, and then all of a sudden I'll see a huge Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also very interested in the bot lane matchup because the only overlapping pick that they had down there in the bot lane was Yunara. And I think that because of a lot of nerfs since that champion came out, there's been
we're not gonna be seeing
significantly lower prio on it. I don't think we'll see Yunara. I think we're much more likely to see the Sivir over the Yunara. But
I do remember Ginger Oxide specifically saying that they hate Sivir now.
Sivir or Yunara?
Sivir.
Wow. Okay. So I guess both of those champs are a little bit dead in the water. We're probably not going to see either of those because Emo Loser doesn't have any games on Sivir this season of CMSA. Yeah, perfect. Something that would be really interesting would be if the Tristana goes through, because Ginger Oxide is actually undefeated on Tristana this season. And it's not just like, oh, they've played it once and didn't lose. No, they've played it 7 times. They are 7-0 on this Tristana.
Yeah, that was one of those 7 was from me.
I fully believe it. And I think that is something that the creativity of their engages on the Twitch really does lend itself to playing Tristana. I wouldn't say similarly. You don't want to be Malphite ulting in with Tristana's W.
I do.
Well, you might.
Full AP Tristana. Now, you pointed out the Tristana. I wanted to point out another champion pick.
There are a lot of them to point out, so...
Well, specifically, the Swain pick.
Yeah.
I witnessed that, but I was not the victim of that one. I was helping along.
You were a benefactor of it.
Yeah. They're good. They're good on that champion.
Yeah, I fully believe it. And we got a question in the chat: is that bot lane set? No. So the champions that you see that are in the much smaller portraits, those are from when that player was off rolling. So in this case, it's from when Emo Loser was playing. I want to say top lane and jungle.
Yeah, that looks like it with the toes pick in there too.
Yeah. I will say I'm used to playing with Swain ADCs. My good friend in Topaz, Boomer to Walrus, very famously piloting that champion to ridiculous amounts of success. I think he makes that champion look really broken. But you know what? It sounds like Ginger Oxide does too. So maybe it's the champion. But I'm excited to see if we get something that stacks. Well, I gave it away. I was going to say something that scales really heavily, like perhaps stacking infinitely, like a Smolder or a Senna. I think that those would be really interesting options from the side of Emo Loser to play against something like the Swain from Ginger Oxide. But
Well, while you're at it there, why don't you throw on Shangru's Scion for another infinitely stacking
gosh,
character?
we have had some really really crazy games in Topaz this season with like infinitely scaling team comps where you have like Asol, Senna, Smolder, and they are out of control, and you lose the game if it goes to like 30 minutes, which for a League of Legends game, not a long time. But I will say, if I'm Emo Loser, I don't want to pick either of those infinitely scaling champs into the Tristana. So I would expect that a Tristana ban would come through.
Was there a Tristana ban in the first game?
I think there was.
I've already forgot.
I also already forgot the bans from the first game. I know that Ornn got banned. I know that Yorick got banned. I know that Viego and Nocturne got banned. I don't think Tristana got banned in round 1, so it is interesting
J4
that,
got banned.
Yeah, it is interesting that the Tristana, I believe, went through in round 1 and didn't get picked. I wonder if it was because of the Vel'Koz. They didn't want to sort of put all of their eggs in that one bot lane basket by, picking the Tristana and the Vel'Koz in the same game. Because Prescription, and I will say Prescription also played in Topaz for about half the season, and when they got that Vel'Koz, it was something to behold. And
I mean, yeah, you saw it in this last game. Like, they can pilot that champion really well.
Yeah, those Qs were hurting. Definitely showing why you don't want to pick all melee into a poke comp until, ultimately they did. All right, and I guess in the support, there's not a whole lot remaining. I expect that we'll probably see like a Zyra support for PP Bandit, but otherwise, there's not a whole lot of champs remaining in these pools that are like champs that have been played a lot by these two supports.
We're getting into our ban phase here. Let's.
I'm anticipating Mundo bans, Tristana bans, maybe a Zyra ban, and I'm sure the jungle is going to.
I'm predicting a Viego ban.
Wow, that's a crazy prediction, Blaine. 100% success rate so far.
I'm just completely locked in,
And there's that Mel ban. Now, none of these players seem to be necessarily Mel enthusiasts, but that is always a champ that I feel like you can just pick it and it works.
Yeah.
And we see the Yorick ban coming through again.
Yorick
Definitely
coming out again.
Want Shangru on that crazy split pushing, side laning threat. And the Sivir ban actually coming out against Ginger Oxide. And yeah, there's the Nocturne ban, so continuing to pinch that jungle champion pool. And there we see the Nunu again. I think.
Are we going to see the first pick Mundo? Because Shangru. Oh, we're getting a Smolder right away.
Smolder immediately with the Tristana up feels risky. But Ginger Oxide.
We gotta.
Wait. It might not be Varus ADC.
Do we have a match history of Varus?
So, little insider info. I have talked with Nectar about Dr. Mundo, and he seems to believe, and it would work fine into Scion as well. He seems to believe that AP Varus might be a good answer.
And we get the Morgana coming in from Theoria, too.
It doesn't look like it will be the Varus top as we see the Kayle locked in. So I'm guessing that's going to be Kayle top into the Scion, and once again, we're looking at a lot of scaling.
Now I'm just mad.
I don't even see any lizards on that team.
Who dares defy my will?
Yeah. I don't know.
Scaling.
I mean, we've got Smolder. He's a dragon.
Ah, dang it.
The Lord is angry.
Yep, for sure a nod to Zangy from Zangy Zesties. But also, ooh, the Zoe band. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I was going to talk about the mid lane pools because they are also quite pinched. We've got the Oriana band coming out. Both mid laners played that, and that is the Diana pick. I'm assuming for Perfect Johnny.
I can already... Oh, no,
Ooh.
that would probably be for Rook then.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense. And we might be getting this
Oh,
Udyr.
no,
we
yeah,
are.
that's Prescription Morgana with the Feroria Udyr.
Okay, it looks like I was totally wrong. It is the Diana jungle for the side of PP's Banditos, and it's going to be Maokai support, I assume. Yeah, we see the switch coming in now. Maokai support, and we're looking at Morgana mid, actually, for the side of...
I'm wrong all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our predictions going out the window here. We were right about a lot of the champions, just not where they were going. Yeah,
And throw out this reference guide, this doc.
Hey, it's got the right champion. I'm just a little confused. Now, I am really interested in why we're not seeing this Dr. Mundo come out. I wonder if maybe the two teams have a sort of a truce going on.
A handshake.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not for sure on what the lane swap situation is at this point anymore, but Shunker has a history of sneaking on down bot lane and causing some level 1 shenanigans. I don't know if that's still allowed by Riot or not.
Yeah, so they definitely tried to patch that out of the game. Now what I think we are seeing in pro play and such is the
ad carry goes top, and then the
Yeah.
support and top laner are bot.
Yeah, we see a weird sort of flip of the map where the ADC and the top laner switch for the first couple of minutes, and then at a certain point in time, I think it's around 4 minutes.
4 minutes is when that drops out.
Walk up, yeah, and that's when the support walks up to top lane. To lane. Let's look at the support matchup. Because I think that we're now looking at effectively champs that haven't been played as much by these by these players rather. The Milio and Vel'Koz were such staples of both of these players. There were actually, I think, there was 1 or 2 nights where PP Bandit played Milio all 3 games. And I could never, because I hate playing the same champ back to back.
I wouldn't even consider it. Playing...
We are the same.
I kind of always just rotate who I'm playing. But
Yeah,
hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And, with Fearless, you can't play Milio 3 games in a row, so...
That's why Fearless is so good. We get picks like Taric and Maokai.
Yeah.
And Kale. I wouldn't expect any of those champions to be picked.
There was no precedent for some of these champs getting picked the way they did. And yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how this Taric pans out, because that's a champ that has a lot of potential to be very oppressive if piloted very well. And it looks like, analyzing these 2 drafts here, it looks like we're kind of not we're not in the same situation as last game, but we are very much in a situation where we are seeing probably that more split push heavy presence from Shangru on the Scion. I think we're going to see a lot more.
For PP's Banditos, we want the Wombo combos. Diana ultimate into a Galio ultimate.
Yeah,
Ginger Oxide sends
Maokai,
out the I don't know what Varus R is called.
chain of corruption.
Yeah. And
Yep.
like if Prescription can time it properly, that Tarek R is gonna nullify all of it.
Yeah, that's certainly the hope for the side of Zangief, is nullifying that big engage potential from the side of PP's Banditos.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And I'm very interested in this Diana Udyr face-off in the jungle because
30 seconds until minions
I think that both of those champs are very strong right now specifically. I think that they both have very fast clears. I don't think we're going to see like a mismatch of which champ clears faster until
We're gonna get Perfect Johnny coming in, just throwing out an auto attack.
Yep. I do wonder if Perfect Johnny had Mana Flow banned.
Minions have
Could
spawned.
have Perfect Johnny did have Mana Flow banned and started W. Okay, there we go. We see the Mana Flow band stack coming out. Yeah, something that you can do a lot in these ranged versus melee matchups, which we're seeing yet again. Rook opting into the melee champion mid lane. But yeah, very often you can get away with some very funny early mana flow band procs and sort of get ahead on your rune completion. So we see the mid laners
Swapping sides.
swapping sides so that
Getting a good ward down to track
Yeah.
that jungler.
yeah, that ward is going to be really big, especially because Diana didn't start on the Raptors, so they aren't going to have information of where Diana is until she gets to the Raptors, and we see some trading coming out. Ginger Oxide spacing that very well, not taking any return damage or the Tarek stun for the number of autos that they just got off, and I think the name of the game here is going to just be scaling for both teams, with the Kayle in the top lane for Nectar and the Smolder for Emo Loser. It's going to be a sort of battle of the scaling champs and which one is piloted more effectively and which one gets more resources from their team. And
I'm
Shangru very aggressively positioning against the Kayle. I mean, Kayle pre-6 feels really bad.
yeah. Also, Shangru is Scion Shangru's most played champion. If not in CMSA, I think just like all together.
I think that
But,
their
like-
most played in CMSA this season was the Dr. Mundo, followed by the Yorick.
Well, Scion gets banned every time by me
Oh, there
anyway.
you go. There you go. I mean, yeah. If you have a player who's known for Scion, you ban Scion.
Yeah, so this is just like ultimate comfort for Shangru.
Ooh, the Morgana Q connects, but so
Really
does the Galio
good
E.
combo. That
Both of them are trading,
Ooh.
but there are
that
minions.
pool
to
does
the
so much
side.
more than I expect at
Yeah,
like
yeah. The
one
pool,
level in.
yeah. The Morgana W doing a lot of work, but also fighting in
We
the
got
minion
Theoria
lane
spotted on the
not
ward.
taking favors.
Flat,
Flash for
huge
flash.
huge reaction.
Yep, Ginger
I
Oxide.
don't have that reaction time.
Oh,
Ginger
You see
Oxide gets
Rock
exhausted.
Mountain,
Flash
Udyr
in
flash
from
in.
Udyr.
this is a lot of
That's
damage.
a huge Terakar. No one's going down yet. I think we're gonna
Eric
get.
ulted,
a
on
trade.
both sides, and we see the kills coming
Oh,
out.
is this?
We see a double
We got a
kill
2-for-2 trade going down.
Yeah, double kill for the Diana
and
is really nice.
Mid lane is fighting too still.
Oh my god, what a chaotic turn of events there. But the double kill going over to Diana, especially when she's already ahead in her clear of the Udyr, is going to feel really bad. Perfect Johnny definitely needs to recall, can't be fighting Galio while unless
It's a bait.
he seems to think otherwise. And I believe him. But Galio now hitting level 5, I feel like Perfect Johnny's just going to look to get this cannon and back off. And he does get it, and he gets the caster too. Perfect, yep. Nice, alright, and they're just going to neutralize the waves unless Morgana stays, which, to be clear, I don't think he should. But he is going to get push advantage here on this wave and then probably force the Galio to TP. If the lane was allowed to be neutral, I think that both mid laners would have just walked back to lane, but because he decided to push, Galio has to TP to catch the wave. And now we're going to see Perfect Johnny back, and I would be interested in seeing if Perfect Johnny uses the teleport here, because the minions are going to crash in the middle of the wave.
There it comes
Sorry, in the
out.
middle of the lane. And we see the bot lane moving to the Raptors here for the side of PP's Banditos, and they see this, they spot Udyr, but it looks like they are not looking to fight, they just want to walk away, and we see a nice little sapling as a parting gift.
Yeah, last game we saw a lot of action on the top side. This time we're already coming through with fighting on the bot side of the jungle this time.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect it with a Smolder lane. But we are seeing some very scrappy plays being made here. And
But if you kickstart a Smolder, that's just gonna be
yeah, that is
bad.
great. That accelerates. And we see Feoria on the Udyr coming in for a lane gank in bot, but Diana is there for the counter. I don't know if either side is going to force it, and it looks like the side of...
They're just gonna start. They're on dragon right now.
The Banditos are just starting up the dragon, and there is vision. I believe that ward is not
Yeah,
getting
it's
spotted
not
by
caught.
the
But it's
control
not caught. So they know.
ward. No.
Johnny gets the root down onto Galio.
Oh, and they're not going to be able to contest in time, and they have to...
Oh,
back
that's
up.
gonna be huge.
Galio is going to come in over the head.
Oh,
of the-
huge three-man taunt. Oh, but here's that perfect
Oh.
Johnny play. Here's that Morgana play
I
for
take
ya.
it all back. That was...
Oh,
an
and Smolder is
insane
just
Morgana.
re-hitting.
And Smolder is mopping up so many kills here. Smolder is so accelerated right now. That's a 3-0 Smolder. You do not
3-0-3
want to see that.
Smolder.
If you're the side of PP's Banditos, you are sweating a little bit because your win con in the top lane is on a much different timer than a Smolder.
Oh,
Nectar-
here we have Proxy Scion.
Yeah, but we have Diana coming right out of base. So I think they're gonna. Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that Shangru went
The
ghost
ghost?
on the Scion, and he's just gonna fully loop back around. He gets the credit.
Gets the plate too.
Oh man, that is a very ballsy play from
This-
Shangru to
That is Shangru's playstyle.
under the ghost.
Especially
I
on
mean,
Scion.
I think that
We
if
have
you're
Grub started
Scion,
here.
and we see the grubs, the first grub going down. I think they're just gonna give all three.
Yeah.
The support roamed for the side of Zengi Zesties, but not for the side of PP's Banditos. Not yet. We see the Maokai coming up now, PP Bandit crossing through mid, but it is too little too late. All three grubs are going to go over to the side of Zengi Zesties. Now,
Oh, Essence Reaver already
Reaver has a
completed
full
for
Essence
Smolder. 8
That-
minutes, 30 seconds at that point.
yeah, that is a really early Essence Reaver, and that is exactly what you don't want to see if you are on the side of PP's Banditos. The Smolder's going to be doing so much damage, and sustain with the mana isn't really a problem anymore. And now we see the engage in mid lane, Rook going on to Perfect Johnny for a trade that he definitely wins. And we see...
And we get a Smolder stat check when you have
Let's see what
time
happens-
after this
what
fight,
happens with
because
this
Diana's
fight.
getting taken down by Feoria. Flash
Very
over the
Flash.
red.
Somehow this translates into Feoria dying, but Smolder's here, free hitting on the Galio.
Smolder flying away. They're safe, but I think that's going to be a few more kills.
Flapping away, but this is
Here
yeah, this
comes
is gonna be
Koala
more
coming
kills.
back in.
Oh,
Getting
really good
Morgana
flash from
rooted,
Emo
though.
Loser. Really good flash from Emo Loser to stay alive, but Ginger Oxide gets a massive shutdown.
That's huge.
That's 2 kills in that fight going over to Ginger Oxide and a massive shutdown on top of it. And we see 60 stacks on the Smolder, so there's still plenty of room for this little dragon to grow. But that was a lot of free hitting in that fight.
All this fighting, all across the map, top lane.
I was just going to say, we see so much bloodshed in the jungle, in mid and top, especially around these objectives, and then top, sorry, I meant bot, but here in top lane, we just see...
Oh, here comes... Never mind.
Yeah, that's how I generally feel about Udyr engages. Here comes Nevermind. And as far as the jungle clear goes, we're seeing both junglers pretty much neck and neck. They're both on pace to finish their
Roach
jungle
getting
item
good
around.
damage down out of Udyr.
Yeah, huge damage over onto Feoria on the Udyr, who has opted to build AP, at least for the first item. I'd be surprised if we don't
the classic.
see- Yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't see tank items come after this. That does seem to be the big Udyr build right now. And I mean, any jungler that gets to build Faded Ashes absolutely should. Because that item, that little 900 gold component item, accelerates your clear so ridiculously. Now, I don't know if Shangru knows that Koala is on the bot side of the map, but definitely going for the proxy farm anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this Scion's just going to be here uncontested, capturing these waves, and frankly, if you're Kale, who cares? As we see the bot lane engaged,
Here comes Tarek are coming down.
you see, yeah, the Tarek ult from
They're-
Prescription are 4 people to 2
Yeah.
in this fight, and that's just a really
We do
good
have Johnny down here, though.
play. Yeah, Perfect Johnny teleporting in, but it is too little too late, as I feel like
Dragon is up. I don't know if they can fight this with 4 on 3.
absolutely think that this dragon is going to have to go over to the side of PP's
Feoria does
Bandit.
have Flash, so... Never mind.
Any kind
I
of
was hoping for a...
it would have been funny, but okay, we're gonna have Chemtech Dragon Soul this game, which is going to create some really interesting threats on the map. I feel like the extended range of the blast cones creates a lot of really
Oh, I
need
could see
people.
Shangru doing something gross with those
yeah.
big blast cones.
oh yeah. And I was going to say that I didn't think. Oh, as we hold up,
Oh, we got a big engage,
Big engage.
on the Perfect Johnny and Prescription.
but we see
Keeping in range,
Mo Loser just free hitting again on this Smolder.
that Morgana does so much.
Oh,
Fury
but on
gets
the other
taken
side
down.
of the fight,
Emo
we see
Loser
Morgana taken down by Ginger
still
Oxide,
healthy.
As it looks like it's just going to be a 2-for-1. The PP's Banditos are just going to take the extra loss and
Shangru's still
we can get.
proxying.
Well, so actually what I was going to say before any of that happened was that I think Shangru could have stayed for a couple more waves at least. He has full vision of the enemy team fighting in the bot side, but instead, in order to augment his proxying even further, he recalls and buys the completed Titanic Hydra. And if you are
Big damage.
this
That
is
Titanic.
scary. That Titanic is putting in work, and so is the CS lead that Shangru has built for himself in the top lane here, by virtue of proxying all of these minions down. And you see,
We're right at 10 CS per minute.
yeah, we are. And Nectar's turret has taken a tremendous amount of damage.
It's gonna go down here.
The proxying. It's going to go down, and this is going to be first turret over to Shangru. And I don't recall who got the feats of warfare. Okay, so I believe, yeah, red side got the feats of warfare, so we are now tied in the feats of strength with
Again.
Yeah, again, except this Rift Herald could change all of that. Rift Herald spawning in 20 seconds, and it looks like both teams are rotating the full team
We're gonna
up
get a fight.
for this Rift Herald. We're going to get a full team fight, and if you're Kale, that is not what you want.
Oh, but Rook gets caught,
It's what you...
but they are
Yeah,
able
I mean-
to get out.
It's the play they have to make. They have to answer this Rift Herald, or they do end up tying the feat of monster slaying. And Feoria getting chunked quite
Rook
a bit.
getting caught.
Morgana's spell shield comes out and it
Will get taken down.
kills
Emo
with
loser.
the Varus. Oh no!
Perfect Johnny
Morgana
will be
finding-
taking down Maokai. The ult
Oh, a
coming
little
down.
bit of disjointedness from Nectar and
Big fight. Emo loser just
Lava.
able to free fire that whole time.
These fights are crazy. These fights are crazy. We're seeing so much action on so many different sides of the fight, but ultimately, it's what, 3 for 3? Yeah, it was 3 for 3. The fights were... Actually, I think it was 4 for 3.
I think so.
with
Can
four
we get another
dropping.
smolder check? Because did they get next Hue?
Yes, yes. They're at 130 stacks on this smolder for Emo Loser, and that little dragon is accelerated so much. Scion building a huge health lead as well, and there aren't really many champions on the side of PP's Banditos who can deal with Scion's health bar, and it looks like the Rift Herald's just going to go down here uncontested.
That's being taken down so fast.
Yeah, there's
I wonder-
not really much that they can do about that.
Looks like Feoria is the one that took the eye. I think I would have put that on Sean Crew.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you know exactly what he's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah, I have to agree, but I guess with the dragon coming up in 40, they'd rather send the Rift Herald mid. Yeah, they're gonna open up
yeah.
mid so that they can open up the map for themselves. I do think that it would have been a perfectly fine play to send the Rift Herald top and force more of an answer out of PP's Banditos over for this top lane as Koala is
That
getting
is
caught,
A
but that's
huge R for
ult.
everyone.
Oh,
Big team fight. Perfect Johnny getting the root down again.
and neither jungler lives through this. And we
Midlife
have,
Mood.
we
Scion
have
coming in.
Shangru- Yeah, we have Big Boy Scion, piloted by Shangru, coming in on the off of the Unstoppable Onslaught. Is that the right one?
Huh?
Which one is Scion's ult? It's Unstoppable Onslaught, right?
Oh no. Don't ask me that. I don't want to embarrass myself.
I think that's correct. We'll say it is. And I don't
The
think
cowards button. Because
Yeah.
Scion yells cowards.
really important that both junglers died in that fight, and neither team feels confident to start up this dragon in front of the other team's face with no jungler to secure it with a smite. Ginger
Sean
Oxide
running back in
a
though.
little bit, but Koala is back and Feoria is back, and we're just going to see another. This
Another
time it's
fight.
going to be a 5v5.
The taunt gets used,
over the
but
dragon, and
misses.
Koala's
Oh,
Oh no!
Koala gets taken
Koala
down,
gets
and that's
taken
Dragon
down.
going over to
Yeah.
Zangy Zesties.
Zangy Zesties were just set up in that brush as Koala walked up to it, but we are seeing a lot of damage coming out from this Varus, and that's a
Ginger
huge
Oxide uses. Oh no, I don't remember.
Chain of Corruption.
Chain
It's
of Corruption.
spreading through the entire team. They're all
Dragon is still
taking
hitting.
attacks, and Dragon is
Maokai R
not
comes in.
it goes over to Feoria, and just like that, the fight changes on a like complete 360. Sorry, 180. Sorry, 360. As both teams, it looked good for both teams at different points.
Yeah.
But I think critically, losing their jungler there just meant that they probably had to give that dragon, and ultimately it only... No, actually, it is the feat of... It's the feat of monster slaying going over to the side of Zangy Zesties, and so they have completed the feats of warfare.
Yeah.
Sorry, feats of strength. Yeah. Yeah, they got the grubs, they got the Rift Herald, and they got one dragon, so that's feat of monster slaying. So yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, they have those upgraded boots, and they will have the further upgraded boot options, which are going to be really, really big, I think, because both of these teams, they're both really looking to scale over each other, and I think that anything you can do to get
Shunger's kind of stuck between two other
yeah, he does
chunky
have the ult
champions.
to escape if he needs
And
it, but,
Ghost. Don't
like,
forget about the Ghost.
I would never forget about this. And yeah, you should see the Scion one-shotting the caster minions, and it looks like
We're getting
PP's
some
Banditos are
fresh
looking to
setup.
set something up, but they're going to lose the bot turret here. And now they're on Vision, and the setup just kind of didn't go anywhere, and Shangru's hitting the big blast cone and is right onto Ginger Oxide.
Just like what we said, that's going to be
That's exactly what we
Ginger
called.
taking down. And that's Rook coming in. Are
Rook
they going to be
coming
able
in.
to do anything back? Does not look like it. They will also be going down.
Everything. And that's exactly what we were talking about with the Chemtech Soul. Those plants are brutal. There are so many more angles for you to die from if you are a squishy AD carry. And we see the
Demon
flash
are getting engaged on.
from Koala, but I mean it's answered with the mom.
Mom.
Yeah, mom answers. And ultimately it's just a null trade, except now
Octagon
Koala doesn't have the
started
flash.
and will go down.
Octagon. Yeah. We're going to see Otacon going down for the side of Zengi Zesties. They're going to claim all of those bloodied petals or roses or whatever they're called now. And we do see Perfect Johnny,
Johnny
recalling
recalling
He
on
gets
top of
spotted,
the
and
ward.
big shutdown going over to the Diana. Now, what is interesting is I alluded earlier, there aren't many options for PP's Banditos to kill this really, really massive health bar on the Scion. One of those is this Blade of the Ruined King that we're seeing on Ginger Oxide, opting for the traditional auto attack Varus build, which I think is absolutely the right call. And we see the experimental Hex Plate coming out as well, which just means that after they ult, they're going to be stacking the Blight so quickly.
Yeah.
And just applying so much more damage with the on-hit effect of Blade of the Ruined King.
They are also still playing with so much confidence. They're not afraid to go in.
Oh,
You saw with that.
I did.
Rook coming in with the R.
Oh, but that's going to
Tarek
be
coming
Feoria
in,
dropping
though.
before the Tarek ult comes out.
That's going to
And
nullify all the damage from here on.
this
Tarek
fight doesn't
lands
look
that.
winning. Oh, Prescription
Oh.
just barely getting away, and it's looking like Ginger Oxide holding their flash is going to die, and then you hate to see it, gets the Kale ult and then flashes anyway. Just a little bit of, self-preservation instincts versus, knowing that the Kale is there. So we are seeing Kale level 13 now. How many stacks are we seeing on Smolder here? We're seeing 212, so very, very close to this execute
Wow.
threshold. And, I will say, I think that most of those stacks are coming from just free hitting in these fights, because I do feel like they've been clearing waves with their W a lot and not so much last hitting with the Q, which granted is a lot harder to do prior to
They're
having that
so
120
accelerated though.
Yeah, they are very, very strong on this Smolder, and they have the anti-heal in the form of the Executioner's Calling, and we're just going to see this dragon go down without any kind of a fight, but they do trade it for a top lane turret, and we do see Nectar, trying his best to get XP on this Kale, because ultimately that will be the big neutralizer. If Kale can hit level 16 prior to
Can we see the
Dragon's
gold? Because Nectar is building Death Cap second.
Yeah. How close is Nectar to this death cap? Oh, he's got it.
They got it.
He's calling by the death cap right now. And we see not a great... Oh!
Koala
turned-
takes down Script.
Turned into
That
a
was
pick,
so
and that's pulled over
fast.
to Nectar. I really thought that Koala was getting picked there, being in a bad spot, but actually turned it into a pick themselves, eating over the wall onto the lone support, who just did not have his team there in time to help him out. And Smolder one stack away as we
Taking
see
down.
Rook
Oh, not taking down.
so close
Johnny.
to solo killing Perfect Johnny, and these two have been just absolutely wailing on each other all game, and we almost saw that culminate in a solo kill for Rook over the Morgana being piloted by Perfect Johnny, and the spell shield comes out. I don't think we're going to see any kind of crazy shenanigans, but also really worth noting that Rook did take Electrocute on the Galio. You know, this isn't your
Does that proc
aftershock.
from 1Q? Or do they have to do a full
It's a-
combo to get the Electrocute?
I think that they need to do a full combo for the Electrocute. Actually, the initial, like the outgoing damage of the Q and the activation damage when it lands might count as 2, but they would still need to hit something else. As we see Prescription getting caught again,
Yeah.
but critically, that is the flash from the Maokai as we have a pause coming through. I wonder what that's about. And
Oh, never
okay,
mind.
we paused. We're back. I hope you didn't go anywhere because that would have been really fast if you did.
Yeah, we do have posturing around that Baron.
Yeah, definitely a lot of posturing. We have Galio TPing with a flank TP, and we're frozen. I think that's probably just a little bit of a glitch as a result of the pause. And, yep, okay, so this is right about where the pause happened. We see Prescription going down in that river brush. We see this fight kicking off, and then here we're going to see the TP flank from Rook. Now, I'm really curious where this goes. Does Rook get there in time?
That is
I
such.
think Rook's going to have to ult immediately.
This is such. Feoria doing so much damage, taking down 2.
I blinked and I missed what happened to Smolder. I think Ginger Oxide was able to burst them down before they were able to
Oh,
burst.
flash from Rook,
We see a flash from Rook
getting
to
the
try
taunt,
to
but
pick
that
off-
Scion is just so tanky.
and he's so fast with the empowered boots of swiftness. That choice of itemization on the boots really playing in Shangru's favor there. I think that any slower and that would have been a kill over for PP's Banditos.
This
But-
gold lead in these fights are still so even. Even
It is
after
even down
this,
to the dragon counter. It is dead even. This really
just goes
does
to show you, the
anyone's
game is
fight.
never over. Even
Yeah,
like
anyone's-
the lead you think that you have would be enough, it's not. There's always mistakes that could be made. There's always like capitalizations that could be taken to get back into a game.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear background noise coming from my mic in a second. The cats are about to get fed. And speaking of,
We're just gonna
that,
hear
we
meows.
have to, we have to look
Bandit.
at the score line here. We see the Morgana ult coming out, traded for the Maokai ult. But what I was saying, the score line here is insane. Like it really is just the tale of the ADCs. And it really is going to be a question of which team gets their ADC to free hit more. Very much a play around the ADC kind of game, even with this Kale. who's
Yeah, I
not
was gonna say.
quite level 16 yet. I'm gonna guess that they're going to try to hit level 16 off of this wave prior to any kind of a Baron fight is able to happen, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that. And actually, Dragon spawning in 25, it's looking like these teams are going to both fight for it, and we see Shangru potentially getting picked, but that's a very tanky Scion, not going to be able to get him down, and
Getting out of there.
Diana ult go out for it, and this Dragon Pit is so dark. There is so little vision for the side of PP's Banditos, and we see the binding connect.
Oh, that
Koala,
that
but
blast
blast
zone.
zone plant.
Blast
uh-oh.
zone is so troll.
That's another binding onto Rook, and Rook
That
doesn't have
CC
flash to get out of
layering
this, but we
is
see
huge.
the
Fiora gets
corruption
hit.
come through. And what
Oh,
is happening?
this is perfect timing on that Terragar to nullify all that damage.
Circle nullified the entire engage, just like you said. Just like Zangi's Zesties were hoping for. Tarek's ult really just shuts down all of the engage, all of the counter engage even from these Banditos, stops all of that damage. And I mean, Ginger Oxide landed a very good chain of corruption onto the Meteor, and it would have, I think, absolutely resulted in his death if the Terror ult didn't come out.
Are we gonna get this? We're gonna get a Baron.
Yeah, we're looking at a Baron play immediately, and we're gonna see Nectar getting vision of it. I don't know if these Banditos can play for this. Their jungler is dead for another 2 seconds. Baron's already down to a third HP. Yeah, that's gone. Ginger Oxide
Gonna be a little late. I was expecting a huge Q to a magic steal.
Yeah, trying to channel their inner Gumayushi, but unfortunately just not able to do it in time.
Sneaky W.
Yeah, I'm still really interested. This game is still neck and neck. I mean, we have a little bit of a lead now for the side of Zangi Zesties, but ultimately it feels like a lot of the power that the Smolder got, and they did force out the Ghost from Ginger Oxide there, but it feels like a lot of the lead that they got on this Smolder is diminishing with the chaos of these team fights. And Ginger Oxide recalling after they just spotted them on Vision with the Horizon.
Stopping the recall.
Yeah, the recall gets cancelled, and they have something in base that is very important. They have a fully completed item in base that they are trying desperately to get. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, it's the Runouns. I was gonna guess Runouns before it came out, but I'll, I didn't get it out in time. We'll
Team
see.
Bandit takes a Snot Rocket.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to deal with this Baron push, but level 16 just now taking over on the Kale. There are so many threats to watch.
It looks
for
like
these fights.
Looks like they're on split push duty.
Yep. Oh, Chain of
Troll
Corruption
coming up from Ginger
Fioria.
Oxide though.
Fioria has to flash. Ooh!
Diana coming in.
Ult
Is
is-
Tarek's gonna get their ult off?
Well, yep, the Tarek ult just absolutely saves the fight, and critically,
There's Sean coming in behind.
yep, critically, the Scion ults in from behind, and I don't think that.
Nectar got taken down in that top fight.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. No, Nectar got taken down in mid. They made it to
Oh,
mid
was it?
lane, and they were able to get their ult off. I think they meant to ult Ginger Oxide, but they ulted themselves, and unfortunately weren't able to.
Ginger got caught.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be game. We see a big Galio ult coming in, but he's got no health. That's just going to be the game over to Zangi Zesties. And I mean, this game was so close until like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
3 minutes
Still
ago,
such
maybe.
a back and forth. And hey,
Yep.
scores 1-1. You know what that means.
It means we're going to a decisive game 3. This will not be a repeat of last week's Pearl Invitational where we had a 3-0. This will be,
We're gonna get a bee woo woo.
yeah, this will be a
Bee-woo.
Silver Stripes situation. So,
All right. That is a
But
crazy
it was
damage
a
chart for emo loser.
try. It was a good try from the side of PP's Banditos to claw their way back into that game after that Smolder got such an accelerated head start. But, ultimately not able to get it done. I mean, when it's Smolder versus Kale in the scaling war and Smolder starts the game off with a double kill and an assist, it's not great. Now, who do we want to pull in?
I mean, I
interview.
think it's gotta be emo loser.
Yeah, I
on the
think it's got to
Smolder.
be the Smolder.
All right, I'm gonna kidnap him. Emo Loser, welcome to the stream. Are you cool with getting an interview quick?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great game, by the way. You started off that game really quick with those couple kills.
Yeah, we were commenting on the scaling war between the Kale and the Smolder, and it felt like right as we were saying that the bot lane skirmish happened where you walked away with a double kill and the enemy team walked away with a 1-0. Actually, I don't recall who got the double kill, but you walked away huge from that first fight, and it felt like from there it was sort of an uphill battle for your opponents.
Yeah, once Smolder gets gold, he just farm stacks very quickly, and then I'm just able to come online way faster and kill everyone.
Yeah, that 8-minute 30-second Essence Reaver was something that we called out as probably game changing, and it certainly seemed like it. Now, it did feel like those team fights were very chaotic, even with the tremendous lead that you had. How did your team approach the fights? What were the comms like?
We were mostly just like getting to objectives first, and then timing the Taric ult with their burst engage, and then after that we just run them down.
So yeah, the Taric pick. Was that a pick that y'all had like practiced previously, or did you see the comp and think like this is who to pick for this situation?
I told them to flex Morgana, and then once I saw the comp, I decided to call for Taric, and it ended up working really well.
Yeah, it that was a really good call. There were multiple times that game where, Taric presses R and all of a sudden there are 3 champs on the enemy team who are just in the middle of your team, completely unable to take damage. And
all right, we're gonna send you back over to your team.
Yeah, and we're gonna take a Silver Scrapes break.
Right. Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, so it sounds like the teams have begun drafting, so we had to send Emo Loser back to their team to discuss draft. That would be pretty important. And so prior to hopping into the draft, we're going to take a break for some Silver Scrapes action going into a decisive Game 3. To answer your question, lad, yes, we did go 1-1. We're going into Game 3 to determine who the winner of the Ruby Invitational will be.
It's so different without the Blaine Zangy matchup. No.
We've got Pepperjack Cam.
Oh. Dr. Fox Cam.
A commercial, we have a special rendition of Silver Scrapes on the stage. I believe it'll be Mark taking it away. All right, Vancouver! You know this song. It is tradition. I want everyone to get hyped, get involved, and sing along with me. Bee-woo-woo, boo-dee-doo, boo-doo-doo, boo-dee-woo, boo-dee-woo, boo-doo-doo, bee-woo-woo, boo.
And
Thank
we're
you,
back.
Mark Z, for that wonderful rendition of Silver Scrapes.
Yep, truly one of the best things he's ever given us. Other than giving us the LCS back next year.
Yeah, the second best thing he's given us is the LCS back.
Yep, and I've got Pepperjack right behind me, loafing away from the camera. He said, "No photos, please."
Oh, you want a photo? Come here, Dr. Fox.
I'm sure now that I have lowered my desk and I'm sitting down, we're going to see some cats real close.
I'm going to cast the entire next game like this.
I'm sure Dr. Fox is going to love that. So, speaking of the next game, What do you think we're going to see going into this game 3? Are we finally going to see for
Mokter
the-
Dundo?
Yeah, for this decisive game 3, are we going to see the champ that these
We've
top
been
laners
asking for
have
this
played
entire
the
time.
most this season? Like, I think combined, they have like as many games on this champ as Ginger Oxide does on Tristana. Another champ I'm going to be looking to see this game. So
That's gonna
we're
get
getting
banned.
into the draft now, and let's see what the bans look like. Do we keep the same bans?
I'm
Look, if
predicting yes, we will.
Yeah, I don't like playing against Dr. Mundo, and we're already off to that exact same start with the Viego ban. So we'll
And
see
we're
what we're
gonna
doing
get
here.
Mel,
Yep.
and
All right,
we're
and then
gonna
we're gonna get
get
Nocturne, and then we're gonna get Yorick, and then we're gonna get.
I've already forgotten.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other. I don't remember. Oh, there was an Oriana in round 1. Okay, well, there's the Yorick. There's the Sivir, and then this will be
Sivir.
Oriana. My guess is this is going to be Oriana. Ooh, the Zac ban. Okay. Okay, that changes things. because
got the Mundo,
we got the Mundo first pick. What is the answer going to be? It's going to be the Garen
Garen.
coming out from Nectar. Okay. Okay, we're answering salt with other spices here, and we get the Tristana. So both of those champs that we called out, I'm going to guess that we're also going to see the Oriana this game. From either
The Zeri
The
response.
Zeri in response is an interesting one. The Rakan with the Zeri also interesting, but good to counteract that Tristana dive potential. And we see the Zoe coming in from the side of PP's Banditos for Rook. One of the champs that I said could be spicy if they pick it, and they sure have. So that we're going to see bans targeting the mid lane here, and I'm sure for the side of Zangy Zesties, we are going to see bans targeting that jungle pool further.
I can picture Perfect Johnny to get Victor. I could see a Victor coming in here.
Yeah, Victor, I could. With the comp that they have so far, I also kind of like an Annie here. And that is a champion that Perfect Johnny did play in the regular season. And yeah, that jungle pool getting hit with 4 bans. I don't know what either of these junglers are going to play at this point. I mean,
The Zyra.
okay, it's the Zyra. And that is a takeaway pick because Feoria also plays the Zyra. And we see the Lux coming
Bandit.
through Zoe.
Is that jungle or is that support?
Well, that is the thing, isn't it? It could be. Okay, so I guess technically we still don't know, but I'm fairly certain that's going to be Silas jungle Zyra support.
And we
Looking
get
at
Fioria a Mumu.
yeah, we get Feoria's Amumu, so we have that engage option, but then on the other side we have the exact same engage option, don't we? Silas steals the Amumu ult, lands some chains, and it's like he's playing Amumu as well.
I also wasn't expecting the Lux pick to come in here.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a CMSA staple, I guess.
It's a requirement. Every single CMSA.
If you are a mid laner or a support in CMSA, I feel like the rule is you are able to pull out Lux at any given time, and it is probably one of the scariest champs I've ever seen you play. We have some Zoes in this organization that are just completely demonic.
What was that?
Yeah, let's take a look at the mid lane. Let's take a look at the mid lane stats. Perfect Johnny was 2-0 in the head-to-head, but one of the games doesn't really count because Perfect Johnny was playing jungle and Rook was playing ADC.
They both got off-rolled for that.
Yeah, they were both off roll, so it's kind of more like they were 1-0. And I think in this case, they are now, what, 2-1? If we're not counting that one off roll game. So Rook looking to tie up this head to head and then I guess go into the next season with a tied head to head. But whichever one comes out on top here does win the invitational, which I think should count for extra. But looking at the stat lines for these two mid laners, we have a pretty solid showing from Perfect Johnny. Less games played, but in the games that he did play, it looks like he was a monster on the Rift. Like on average going like 10, 4, and 8. Now, for Rook, it looks like maybe a little bit more stability, a little bit less hype plays. I mean, they're playing off-roll for a lot of the games that they are playing. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how this pans out.
Also, both those CS per minutes are pretty even, too.
Yeah, 100%. It's a battle here in the mid lane, and we've seen that these first two games too. Then just going back and forth, absolutely beating the crap out of each other. I didn't expect to see the Galio versus Morgana matchup be so explosive.
Yeah. Also, the first game of these invitationals where both mid laners are ranged.
That's true, and that's a really good point. Going into this game, we are looking at two teams that have quite a lot of range, but also there's a lot of tools to dive in on both sides. We see the Sylas and the Tristana on the side of PP's Banditos, and then on the side of Zangi's Zesties, we have a Mumu Rakan.
And we have Mundo running.
Yeah, not to mention you have Dr. Mundo, who invariably will just run at your ADC at one point in the game and one-shot them.
With one Titanic.
Yeah, it'll be a Heartsteel proc. They'll land the cleaver, they'll get the approach velocity, they'll run at you, and they will auto for the proc of Heartsteel. Then they'll use the Titanic Hydra to get another auto. Then they'll use the E to get another auto. Actually, reverse that order. And they will just kill you in 3 auto attacks that all come out as if he had Hail of Blades. So that's a fun and really cool champion. I love Dr. Mundo. You think we'll see any level 1 shenanigans from these teams?
I hope so. I don't want 3 5-point setups every time. I want to see some. I mean, we have seen early action, but I want to see level 1.
Yeah, definitely.
We're seeing pings coming out.
We see
looks like we have a 5-man bot.
People from the side of PP's Banditos running towards bot lane. And Emo Loser's going to play pretty safe far back in this brush. But will they spot the enemy team in time? And it looks like the answer is going to be yes. But gets hit by the Zoe Sleep and has to flash.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble!
And we see Sylas chasing in after anyway. And that is a lot of damage and the flash. I
got really hyped there. I was hoping they would. I wasn't expecting the level 1 bubble to come out.
Yeah, wow. Level 1 bubble, and it looks like we have a pause, and I'm reading the all chat. Kind of wish I wasn't. But I'm sure this pause
Don't
will be
worry,
resolved.
I noticed also.
Yeah, I'm sure we read the same thing. No trash talk, just some
banter.
Some banter, some suspicion of heightened fear. And we get the unpause coming out, and we are now back into the game. We see PP Bandit here sitting in the brush waiting to see if Prescription will face check. I don't know what this Zyra's gonna really do other than Q the Rakan, and I don't think Rakan does anything other than Q in response, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess that that's not going to be an explosive exchange, just some damage out on the Rakan, as we do see some freezing issues as a result of the pause, but it looks like they are resolved. We see Prescription and Ginger Oxide emoting at each other. They're dancing. PP Bandit disrespecting the dance party agreement. Goes for the Q, lands it. That's probably worth it though, because I'm assuming they have Mana Flow Band, and that's exactly what I was talking about last game, looking for those early Mana Flow Band advantages, trading range.
Charger, big business.
And yeah, we see Dr. Mundo in the top lane, unfortunately. We were dreading it all night, and it finally has happened. We prepared for this. I think that we're going to see Nectar tick over to level 2 before Shangru, and we're going to probably see a bit... I was wrong. Shangru walks up and autos the minion, and that's that. I thought Nectar could clear those minions out a little bit faster, but you know, this early game, just such a staple of Dr. Mundo, isn't it? Where he ease your minions through your wave and hits you with them, and it does a lot of damage, and then he hits you with a Q, and he loses some health, and then it makes contact with you, and he gets all of it back, and I hate that champion so much, if you can't tell. We did see some trading coming out in the mid lane, nothing too substantial, but, you know, looking down here, playing the Zeri against a Zyra Tristana with no flash, that's got to be scary, as Rook walks up for this Yumu's Ghostblade.
Ghostblade. Yeah, I'm excited to see all the different items and summoners that Rook is gonna get.
Yeah,
because that could be game changing.
Yes, 100%, and I always feel like I get the worst ones. Whenever I play Zoe, it feels like I'm permanently getting just the worst possible options, as we see a big trade. Nectar taking out a good Shangru's health, and important to
getting
note
away before
Yeah.
the W pops.
Yes. Yeah, really important. And also important to note, Dr. Mundo, the only champion in the game who can build Warmog's first item, does not have that quite yet. So that trade will matter, unlike 5 minutes from now when he has Warmogs and nothing matters.
Get some early tower damage on.
Yep, and Emo Loser intentionally
Occupied.
dropping some of these minions to get some poke damage in response.
Oh, that's a good response from
Yeah.
Prescription and Emo Loser.
Yeah, we see some really good poke damage come out from the side of Zengi Zesty's bot lane, but what they don't know is that there is a sneaky Sylas here. They might see the Zoe roaming down on that ward that was placed by Perfect Johnny in that river brush. We'll see if they notice it, and we'll see if PP's Banditos even goes for anything here. It doesn't look like they will. Yeah, the Sylas completes the
Silas
recall.
backs, gets the head into the Krugs.
Yep. And crucially, we see the difference here in jungle clear speed. It's going to start ramping a lot. Amumu does build the Fated Ashes first item, as we see a big trade in the top lane. Ultimately not going to amount to anything quite yet, but I'm sure that if Nectar's able to hit level 6 first, we're going to see Flash Q, Ignite Ult, Garen take the top lane first blood against the Dr. Mundo. Now,
He's back and forth trades in the mid lane.
yeah, both of these mid laners are playing with very little health, almost no mana, and absolutely reckless abandon for anything that could be happening on the map around them. Like, you know, I don't think they had the knowledge that Amumu was crossing from his top jungle to his bot jungle, because that could have been a huge difference maker right there if Amumu hits Zoe, who doesn't have flash, with a flash Q. But we're starting to see level 6 tick over for the solo laners. I wonder if we're about to see some Garen shenanigans. If there
I'm
was
always
ever a
game for some
chance to do it-
shenanigans.
Yeah, if there was ever a champ to do it, it would be Garen. And we do. I do wonder if they've. Okay, they have now spotted a Mumu bot, and they see that he completes the recall. I don't.
Also, both of these jungler. Oh, we have Koala coming in for a lane gank.
Lane gank. Will he be spotted by the minions? He won't. So. Oh, that's the W used for prescription.
That's gonna be.
That's gonna.
I could
felt
see the
like they
bait.
were-
I could see the bait. I could see prescription about to press W.
I was really expecting in that exact moment that we were going to get the Tristana W, the Silas double E combo. Sorry, I just heard Pepperjack messing around in the kitchen.
Flash from Feoria.
Oh,
getting
that's gonna
all
be the
this
kill.
damage down. First blood.
And that's exactly what you want to see when you blow the Zoe's flash. So
Ginger
early on.
Oxide.
Ginger
jumping
Oxide
in, getting the reset.
Onto Emo Loser gets
Flash
it.
to get the kill.
And that is no flash for either ADC, but crucially Ginger Oxide picking up the solo kill. And the last thing you want is this Tristana free hitting your turret.
I did want to mention, Feoria does that all the time. They're not afraid to use their flash on a gank to land a kill. And I love that. I'm always ready to dodge, but then they just flash right into you.
Yep, 100%. And I mean, that is like the Amumu combo. We're going to see a lot of damage onto Perfect Johnny here. That's the Electrocute proc going off, taking him down to just about no health.
Oh, that's a kill onto Sean.
Wow. That sure is just the Garen special. Gotta do it now before he has the Warmogs, that's all I'm gonna say. And the cats are getting into something, so I need to go take it from them real quick.
All right, you're stuck here with me. We have an engage from Silas. The stolen Amumu art takes him down. Those remaining grubs are gonna get taken. Rook getting caught. PP Bandit launches. I wish I knew ability names, because, like, how much better would this cast be if I was just, like, saying all of them, right? I should have done research before.
Alright, I'm back. Yeah, if only we had done homework.
Well, you did.
Well, yeah, but I shared my notes, and if my notes aren't good enough, then did we
Well,
even
they
do the
were, but then all of the sudden, like, they just started picking stuff that they haven't picked.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of first-time picks this series, which you love to see. And it looks like, unrelated to the game, Pepperjack has the zoomies. So, chat, enjoy that. I'm sure we'll see that momentarily.
Feoria takes down the first dragon of the game.
Yep, first dragon of the game going over to the side of Sangi's Zesties. Now, I do wonder if we're going to see an early grub take in response. It doesn't look like it, although Silas is finishing up this clear and will probably recall and then open to the grubs. We see... Oh, Silas did already get the grubs. I see. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it looks like two of them went over to the side of PB's Banditos and one to Zangi's Zesties, and forcing out the Mundo ult here is huge for Nectar.
Two giant spells, so those trades are gonna... Oh, huge engage, flash down to Ginger, but gets the buffer.
We see the stolen Rakan ult come back for Silas, but it's
Feoria is still there.
Feoria gets a
huge
crazy ultimate.
free Curse of the Sad Mummy.
But it looks like that's all
Rook
they
does not land
have.
the sleep.
So far, it's 1-for-1 in what looked like it was going to be a massive fight, but we're seeing a crazy Lux ult come
Huge
out.
Zyra root. The
There's
fight
just
is
so much
they're
to look at
still
in this.
fighting. Everyone's so low, Emo Loser
Wow.
misses.
Yeah, just barely. Both teams. I mean, we continue to see this game after game, but both teams taking these really scrappy fights where pretty much no one's getting out with.
Yeah, that was an even 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, with any kind of help. And I'm quickly going to throw a sock at Pepperjack because he's acting up. Alright. He stopped.
Was it your
I didn't-
sock?
Actually, it was my fiance's sock. And they're now playing with the sock, and it's a fun time. Yeah, Pepperjack has some crazy zoomies right now. Which
Emo
makes sense.
Loser and Prescription have not back, so they're still low.
Yeah, this is looking like... Okay, we have Perfect Johnny coming
Perfect Johnny.
cover just in case of a dive, but I think what they'll probably end up doing is they'll swap they'll swap bot and mid for these next couple of waves. There are a lot of minions going into the void here in the mid lane for the side of Zengi Zesties. You hate to see the minions die to turrets, but you know,
Yeah,
it
the
was-
minion should die by my hands.
Yes, but it is very important that that dive gets covered
That's-
because it could have been really, really bad. And then
Ginger
play
X are
this with the Ginger X-
Free-hitting
Right.
this turret.
Yeah,
Oh, here, Koala's setting
Ooh.
up in the
That's a
bot
really
lane.
big W from Prescription, but it looks like it's all just a bait. As you rightly point out that Koala is here, and that's already so much health gone from Prescription. And we see both mid
Sugar
laners
holding
this.
this
There's
wave.
Yeah, this is triple giant spelt Dr. Mundo. Oh man. I could go on forever about this champion. And you will see that next week in the Topaz Invitational.
Has
Teams
your
are-
Belvath top still been menacing?
Well, this season I've actually been a jungler.
We haven't engaged on Peoria landing. This Curse of the Sad Mummy.
That's a huge Zyra ultimate in response to the
Rook
Amumu ult. And
back
Ginger
here
Oxide
again.
free hitting. Yeah, Rook is here again, has the Amumu ult.
Well, it has, yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy. Are we gonna see a dive?
I feel like we're going to
Like
see
Rook,
them-
Rook has such long range. Oh, never mind. That's clear.
Oh, so close to picking. Oh, that's gonna be Koala
Rook is
going
stuck.
down.
Rook got caught right in turret range, or excuse me, Koala.
Yep, that was just so well played from Perfect Johnny to find that binding, like pixel perfect. I feel on the turret range, and we just see again and again these crazy scrappy fights in the bot lane. And I mean, this time there's not even an objective to go for. They're just fighting all over the game. Now,
Yeah.
Dragon is now up, but that fight is going to have very little bearing on this one that's about to happen over this dragon, unless it means that Perfect Johnny doesn't get a recall in. Critically, Perfect Johnny and Nectar both opted to not take Teleport, instead favoring summoner spells that would help them out more in their lanes, respectively.
We do have Zengi Zesties set up, but looks like they're backing away.
It looks like they're just going to give this dragon have vision of Emo Loser basing, so I think they're just going to take... Yeah, they're just going to end up giving the dragon...
We're gonna get a Perfect Johnny seal.
Oh, that was shockingly close. Wow. You know, I was saying earlier before that bot lane fight broke out, I've been playing jungle this season. Situations like that, terrifying. I'm like so paranoid about the Lux ult steals and you know, Jinx ult steals and Varus Qs and just all these ways there are to steal dragons away from the jungler. And we do see the Warmogs out here for Dr.
That's
Mundo. This champ is
Huge trade.
I cannot believe.
Ginger Oxide jumps in, but jumps over.
A perfect Johnny
Johnny.
disregards Ginger Oxide walking at him and just says, "All right," and walks away. We see, yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Once Dr. Mundo has this Warmogs, it does not matter what trades you take with him if you cannot 100 to 0 him. You have to be able to, consistently all in him. You can't poke him out anymore. There's no poking him down and then killing him later. And yeah, he's demonstrating exactly that, and why I hate this champion so much. Now, as far as the state of the game goes, we are looking at a nearly 2,000 gold lead for the side of PP's Banditos. I have to feel like a lot of that is in the pocket of this Tristana, who got so many plates in lane, did take first turret in bot, and we see a
We see
very
teleport top.
dark map. And we
Coming
see
from Rook.
we see Koala. Oh, the bubble
Sleep
lands.
lands anyway.
And they're able to take out Feoria at this Rift Herald. That's going to probably just be the end of
Another
it.
sleep lands. Perfect Johnny gets taken so low.
My God, yep. And Zoe changes the way that you play the game so drastically. You have to be so afraid of all of the terrain, just because you could get hit by a bubble from places you didn't even think Zoe could be. And we see the Rift Herald getting summoned in the mid lane now. I'm sure they're about to use it to open up this, they open up the mid lane, and then we see Koala stealing the
Koala has
recon.
the quickness.
Oh, that's the flash out from Perfect Johnny, and that's just still being picked up by Rook. And yeah, that's exactly what this champion can do. Just fish for sleepy trouble bubbles constantly, and there's another one lands. And almost takes out Prescription. Very close. And we see Shangru proxy farming.
Back to proxy.
So realistically, there are not many options for PP's Banditos to deal with this Dr. Mundo. They really need to get, they need to get to a spot where they can comfortably try to end before this Mundo is on 4 items. If Mundo is allowed to get too strong, there's not going to be any response.
They do have decent lockdown to try to take the Mundo out.
They
Is it
do-
gonna be enough though?
That's the question, and they're certainly going to need anti-heal.
They got step 1, but yeah,
Possible.
Ghost, our movement speed,
It
They
looks like they
do
might
get
be-
stronger
Yeah, they
down
take him
though.
out. They take him out, and I mean, crucially, we're looking at a champion that has such a ridiculous impact on the game. Not a single kill, 0-2-0, and you already see how many resources they have to expend trying to get rid of Dr. Mundo. Now, there's Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds. And crucially, Silas can't take away Rakan's ult. Silas's ult looks like it will be up in time, as Perfect Johnny lands a really good route onto Ginger Oxide, gets them down to about half HP ahead of this fight. That's going to be really, really bad for the side of PP's Banditos. If
surprised
Ginger
the R
Oxide-
didn't come out right away.
Yeah, agreed. I wonder if Perfect Johnny was just saving it as
Fury gets
Wario
hit. Gets
walks
taken out,
into
but gets
bubble,
taken
and then it's
on a journey.
really pivotal 2-man Amumu ult.
Ema Loser pops Zeriar. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what Zeri's ult is called either, actually. But yeah,
Zap,
critically, yeah. That looked like it was such
Oh, they're
a
setting up a play
for-
here. Script gets taken down by Ginger Oxide.
Yep, as we head into this fight, that's a huge binding from Perfect Johnny. Now, the ultimate was on cooldown for about another 2 seconds. You see it come out here, and that goes...
Johnny is so good with these Lux bindings.
These mid laners are really just shaping the way these fights are going. And we see Zangy Zesties starting up the dragon. There's not going to be any contesting from the side of PP Banditos because, I mean, Silas is dead. The jungler is dead for 15. So that's going to be the dragon going down. I don't expect they'll start up Otacon, even though they have the full team there. Yeah. They're just going to play for the vision control. Ginger Oxide may be doing some hunting, but they need to be careful because there is an Amumu right behind them.
Rook just free hitting this tower before Mundo shows up to ruin the party.
Yep, and Mundo is here, which means party is indeed over. Time to go. Pack it up.
Oh, Fiora's gonna
Fioria using the ult
sad
for
mummy.
Ginger Oxide. Ginger Oxide doing a lot of damage to this Amumu. And Koala
Koala
goes in, does a
Emo
ton of damage to
Stays
the Zeri,
alive.
but no one
That
died.
arm movement speed definitely helped. And prescription.
It feels like these fights are just always on a knife's edge, as we actually see Rook doing a lot of damage to this Dr. Mundo. That's unexpected, but Mundo...
I think Rook would have been taken down if Mundo didn't hit the cleaver onto that minion.
Yeah, I think so too, but here we go. Mundo is full HP again.
Alright, here we go. Another Oh!
Blinking,
Steal
you
not
missed it.
necessary.
Yeah, blink and you miss it. The binding goes out.
Prescription with a
This is
huge
going to
knock-on
be-
onto both.
Oh! Fioria, yeah, Fioria
Perfect Johnny.
throws the Otacon, and this is just, these fights are just so messy. And it feels like for the side of PP's Banditos, they just can't get on the same page. Yeah, Dr. Mundo's gonna block the turret, drop behind him, cool guys don't look at explosions type shit. As we see...
And already just knocking down the next one.
Yeah, and, you know, looking at... Oh, that was bold from Ginger Oxide. I don't think Sean Grew cares.
I was gonna say, I
This
thought
is what
Ginger
I
was
was
just gonna
talking
like clear the
about.
wave and have the tower just free hitting, but
And that's what I was talking about. You really have no threats to deal with the Mundo damage-wise. And it feels like Mundo just kind of runs the game. You know, despite having a 0-2-1 scoreline, the Mundo is just such a problem. And we see the engage coming out onto Rook from Prescription's
Prescription
Rakan,
gets the
but it
charm.
looks like it's just going to be Rakan ult for nothing. No follow-up. It was there in time, and Rook is able to just get away.
Octagon was taken, or did I miss that? Oh no. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Zangy Zesties showed up, rolled
Yeah.
in, and rolled over PP's Banditos at the
Baron is
Otacon.
up in 10
We
seconds.
see Ginger Oxide doing a lot of damage to Feoria.
Oh.
Feoria in a bad position here. Almost takes
That-
out Ginger Oxide, though.
That was very close. Good response.
Credit where it's due. That was really close from Feoria.
Johnny forcing the flash
Forcing-
from Koala.
Koala not having flash with the stolen Amumu ult is going to be really impactful for this next team
Oh,
fight.
here
And
comes
Here we go.
Mundo.
We see it again. Dr. Mundo.
The Ignite, smart, lessen that healing. Are they going to be able to catch him, though? Koala giving it a good try. Oh, but that's low.
Now.
Oh, that lands.
Oh, Koala uses the stolen Amumu ult to try to
But
kill Dr.
Mundo is just
Mundo.
healing all of it.
The Sleepy Trouble bubble does land. I wonder if it's going to be enough. And Shangru
Still
will-
healing up.
Will he die? He
Okay,
dies.
there we go.
Does
Gets
finally
taken
die.
down.
So many resource used. You use the stolen Amumu ult for from Koala. You use the Zoe flash, the real
Yeah.
flash, and oh,
Wait, did that
was
hit? Oh, that did
yeah,
hit.
That did hit, and I don't think that Perfect Johnny was even aiming for that. I think
Yeah, I think that was just a wave clear.
I think he was just looking to clear the wave with that ult, and oh man, a little bit more damage, and I do think that the Storm Surge would have executed.
We have Dragon coming up, or Dragon is up. We have a fight coming up. I assume it's pretty dark for Zangi's Zesties. But Sean Gru's just gonna walk up without fear.
And we see the objective setup is here from the side of PP's Banditos. They have first. They're here first. They have first move on this dragon. They're starting it up.
Up with those bubbles.
And yeah, it's just so hard to walk in, but Theoria manages to get into the pit onto Nectar, who survived way longer than I expected. That was a lot of damage onto Nectar, and he soaked up so much of it. And crucially,
Are they
he
going
had
right for Baron?
Our team could get out, but yeah, it does look like Zangi's
Walla's
Zesty
there
are
though to
looking-
contest at least.
Yeah, it looks like they are looking for this Baron. They're posturing for it, and I don't think Koala knows.
Or are they
Okay,
just?
okay, they got
well,
the
they
tree-
will.
they got the
They
blue
will
tree.
definitely will now.
Yeah, they got the blue
Teleport
trinket.
coming in from Rook, so we are gonna see a fight here. But
Yeah.
PP Bandit just gets taken down by Sean Guru. Or
Uh-oh. Okay, that's the Lux ult gone. That's Koala on a
Sean Guru's still
low
taking
health
damage
bar
from
here, and
everyone on the
Baron-
bottom side.
It looks like, yeah, Baron's just going to go the way of Zangi Zesties. Not quite uncontested, but PP's Banditos just couldn't find their way into the fight.
It's really tough to get in there because there were fights on opposite sides.
Yeah,
of the Baron.
and that's what both of these teams do. It's just so hard to walk into either team if they are at the objective first. I mean, the only person who can do it is Mundo. And I'm saying that in a derogatory way. The only champion who can really just kind of walk in is Mundo. I don't think... Oh, we're going to see the pick here. Oh my god.
Perfect Johnny is
Was that-
crazy.
That
this
was
is what
fine.
Lux does.
They saw PP Bandit on the wave crossing through and just guessed where
But Ginger going in on Johnny.
he was.
Not gonna
Yeah.
get much. Those shields.
That is a decent chunk at least, but yeah, Mundo is just down there taking turrets, and they're
Wait,
So
we
we
have a fight. Email loser.
Ginger Oxide gets bursted down immediately.
Are they gonna take
Koala
Johnny
on
down?
Johnny,
No.
but Perfect Johnny's health bar stays almost full with the help of the Rakan and his own shield,
Red team's turret
and
has
we are
been
just
destroyed.
not going to see really any kind of response proportionate to what Zangi Zesties are able to get done on the
Goes
map
so
right now.
fast.
Mundo is just taking so much right in their faces.
Destroyed.
Riot game.
That mid wave
Red team's turret has
push
been
under tower. Let's see if they get this next one.
Red team's
Yeah,
turret
that's
has been
two
destroyed.
inhibs over for.
Are they gonna
so
go for the end?
Zangi Zesties, and it looks like they're threatening it.
Oh well.
That's an insane.
Perfect Johnny just decided
Lux
to end the
find.
game.
I think Perfect Johnny actually just won the game with that play. Like I think it was a little dicey, but they could have done it. But after that, it's just looking like it's over as the rest of the team gets mopped up. Nectar can't do anything here to stop Oh,
A summoner
prescription
has
does go
Still goes
down.
over though.
But yeah, that's going to be game 3 going over to the side of Zangy Zesties.
A summoner
And
has disconnected.
that game felt like it ended so quickly.
Yeah, like all 3 of these games have been just slugfests. Back and forth every single time. Double-digit kills for both sides.
Yeah, that was wild. For a third game interview, I think let's look to pull in Feoria, maybe the Amumu.
Yeah,
I would normally say Perfect Johnny, but they requested we could do a full team interview as
team
well. Maybe we can see if they all want to hop in and talk about the games, give a little victory lap. They've earned it. Those 3 games were absolute slugfests.
bangers.
Constantly fighting, constantly beating the crap out of each other.
Do we get confirmation? All right, give us one moment while we see if we can pull the entire team in. Wow, that was
They're
such
saying in the
a good
Twitch chat that
invitation.
they can all join. So it sounds like that's a yes.
I can pull them in.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello,
We've
Hello.
Zangy
got
Zesties.
the entire team of Zangy Zesties in here with us now.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
well, first of all, congratulations on winning the Season 18 Ruby Invitational.
Thank you so
thank
much.
Thank you.
That was
Bunch of hard-fought, fun
Yeah.
games.
those were
We tried
3
to make it fun for you to
absolutely
watch,
crazy
you know.
games.
It was.
Yep.
It worked.
Yeah, 100%. And John pointing out in the Twitch chat, rightfully so, that Zangy has finally won an invitational.
Yeah, this one was for you.
Ooh.
You're our hero.
For
Didn't
me.
Didn't even get to play J4.
That's why we banned J4. Our name is under his to
We should have
commemorate.
committed all 3 games, but you know, we chickened out game 2.
Yeah.
No, we banned it phase 2.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did? Oh, just
Yeah.
this was for you, Zangy.
That was all calculated. We knew that would happen, surely.
Yeah.
Feora, I just wanted to say your Amumu engages
Yeah.
They're
incredible.
a little scuffed,
Multiple-
right? They're just messy.
But they work. Multiple
Okay, messy is
curses
a
of the
good
dead man. You're
word.
making everyone. Well, you're crying all over everyone, and you're making them cry.
No, messy's a good word to describe just the fights in general for the entire series, and I feel like the Amumu engages were a really good
A
encapsulation
microcosm of the
that.
game, right? Yeah, when I miss
Yes,
both cues
100%.
and then still just walk up and ult Ginger because that's all I can do.
Yeah,
Messy as
there
hell.
there was that one fight in bot lane where you walked into the Zoe bubble that was on the ground, and I could have sworn it was about to be a pick. And instead, it was a pick, but it was you turning it around, landing a crazy 2-man Amumu ult onto the people who were trying to do the picking on you. And so it just felt like that was a really tone-setting Amumu ult for what would happen the rest of the game.
We played a couple scrims against this team a week or 2 ago. Like we actually managed to do, it was like 4v4 or 4v5. Like most of the people were there. And I think those 2 games I played Nunu and Rammus and just played Baus jungle. You know, strategic inting across the map, barely farming. And I spent a little bit too much time farming this game, but you know, same energy.
Well,
Just run it down
there
and
you have
engage.
it. There's probably part of the reason for the Nunu ban. We were speculating.
Yeah, I barely
yeah.
play it, but they
Yeah.
really did not like it in the scrim.
It was
So-
that
Also-
first scrim because we
Yeah.
played Nunu Galio with Emax Zillion support.
I think
All
also,
I
I think on
did
top,
Was press E and the Galio Nunu would engage at 800 move speed.
Incredible.
I think on top of that, they also had the situation of we had Garen that they were a Garen pick for Troll, so I think they learned from that and they tried to counter us with that, and the York bans as well.
Yeah, I was wondering the entire series when we were finally going to see that Dr. Mundo.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because it's
classic.
a pick that both of you share. It's a pick that, in my opinion, is disturbingly overpowered.
Yep.
And if there aren't any good options for answering it, like we saw this game, it just kind of runs the whole map. And there were multiple times where I pointed out, like Mundo is 0-2 and is the most impactful champion in this game right now.
Yeah, 0-4-3 to end the game, right? But
Negative win rate as usual.
You would never guess from the scoreline how impactful that champion is, and I suspect that that's a huge reason why he's gone unnerfed for so long, Riot Games. And yeah, I look forward to the day that champion gets nerfed, but I have to say it was a really good display of what that champion can do when left to his own devices. So well done on that.
I appreciate it. I was going to say, actually, Aatrox, the first game, I've got to give it to Nectar. His Aatrox is really solid. Like, he performs really well on that specifically. And I'm surprised the Ornn wasn't pulled out, because I know Garen's a counter to Mundo, because he just, like, pressed Ignite R. But I would have been more worried, I think, about an Ornn scaling late game, because I think his Ornn is pretty strong as well. So shout out to Nectar for being a really strong top laner and, like, improving and putting in the practice to be even better. So yeah.
Yeah, I always ban Nectar's Ornn.
I don't know if
He's really good on it.
Yeah, I don't know if you were necessarily thinking about this going into the Invitational, but a fun fact that I pulled from digging through 7 weeks of data for Ruby was that the only 2 times you and Nectar have played against each other this season, it's been that Aatrox Mundo matchup, and you were 1-1.
Okay.
So game 1, I was like, I had my fingers crossed and everything, hoping that we would get to see that matchup, but instead we got the Aatrox versus
K'Sante, yeah.
matchup. And yeah, that, similar vibes for sure, but I mean, K'Sante doesn't slap the same way Dr. Mundo's briefcase does.
To be honest, just to give you context, I kind of was playing more for team there because we didn't have a lot of frontline. But I'm gonna be real. The way that I look at it now, I should have gone Trundle. I was considering Trundle, and the reasoning why is, as you see my playstyle with Sion and Mundo, I push as Mundo does. I hit tower and push. So I think Trundle would have been much better there for pressure, for map pressure, and also I think no matter who you face as Trundle, you can still punish hard. So that was on me for not playing my
We
style.
just scuffed game 1 draft real bad.
Yeah,
I should have been on Udyr, on Maokai specifically, going into Lilia. We should have had Enchantress support, and we should have had you on Split. So we tried to ameliorate all of that for game 2.
Yeah, we adapted.
Sean only wants his comms
Improvise,
to be
adapt, overcome.
Amen.
True.
Sean only wants his comms to be on pushing top.
True. As Zangy says. Oh my god.
Going into the top lane matchup, I pointed out that we had a clash of styles in the top laners. We had Shangru very much wanting to split push. All of your stats lend yourself to split pushing. All of your champions that you pick lend yourself to split pushing. And then on the other side, it's sort of the opposite, where Nectar picks a lot of these big team fight engagers, big frontliners, groups up with the team, and it's really reflected in the CS per minute stat, where you see just like, Shangru, that's a guy who's going to be between your tier 2 and inhib turrets, proxy farming, no matter what champ he's playing, and Nectar, that's the guy who's going to be TPing to the team fights, and you can't really do that when you have Dr. Mundo using Demolish on your inhib turret. So
no, I was gonna say, I feel like the playstyle of like Nectar is also still matching that situation. Like he was able to adapt a bit, especially I saw how he played today because I played him during season and the practice he put in, I've got to give credit, like a lot improved to kind of get accustomed to that split push and also to match that well with the wave clear. So I've got to give him props for that. Played really well.
Yeah, all 3 games were an absolute pleasure to watch. So much fighting, so much chaos. It felt like there were constantly trades to watch. There were constantly fights going on, and especially in the mid lane, actually, I felt like there were a lot of crazy fights that you wouldn't expect from champs that you wouldn't expect to be fighting as much as they were. Like the Morgana versus Galio matchup was shockingly bloody. I really wasn't expecting to see, near solo kills on both sides. Almost every time we panned over to mid.
Yeah, we would be watching a fight bot lane, and then all of a sudden we would go mid, and everyone would be half HP.
Yeah,
or less.
Yeah, sure. It was definitely a joy to watch. So, I mean, just props all around to all 10 players in the Invitational, but of course, congratulations to our winning team, Zangy Zesties. Very well fought, and definitely really threw a lot of my homework that I did out the window, picking some of the champs that you did. Wasn't expecting a lot of them, so that was also very fun.
Yeah, it was really fun to play. And also shout out to Johnny getting that crazy double stun at the end of game 3. That was a nuts one. Big play.
We were even like, are they going to try to end here? And then, Johnny landed that, and I was like, oh, never mind. They are.
Yeah, insane plays. MVP for game 3 in my eyes. Like, insane.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, that was really
absolutely.
well done.
When that happened, I called like, oh, now they can definitely end. It didn't look like it was necessarily an end angle. It looked like maybe you would get Nexus turrets and then have to leave, but as soon as that binding came out, I was like, never mind. That's the game. That was quite literally the game-winning Lux Q.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well played. I think that does it for us for this stream. And of course, tune in next week for the Topaz Invitational, same time, 7 p.m. Central.
Yep, definitely.
And definitely be on the lookout for Dr. Mundo. I hate that champion so much.
Oh, please. No more.
I seem to remember hearing something about the team names reflecting that.
Sage, you have flashbacks to the games.
Yeah, there may or may not be a reference to Dr. Mundo in my team's name. I'm not sure of the enemy team's name quite yet, but you'll have to stay tuned and find out.
Ooh, okay. Definitely gonna go and watch that. It's gonna be fun next week, same time.
All right, that's going to do it from us. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed watching these games as everyone here enjoyed playing. Like we said, tune in next week to see Topaz battle it out. And have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.